ass pants.
This some Prevo shit, huh? Lyrically immortal beast, redesign artistically. Ha, L-I-B-R-A. I just wanna get fly with you, so fly, so fly. Really just trying to get high with you, so high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just trying to get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. Footsteps on the big clouds, yeah, we here now. Ain't coming down, cause I hear the sound of the light of flick sparking big clips. Took a big rip with a thick bitch and she fine too. About 5'2", throwing something smooth, we can vibe too. Match my energy and you can slide through. I like different flavors, let me try you. I just need a taste of what you're really giving. Don't fight the temptation, baby, release and give in. Long as you stay loyal, we both gonna end up winning. And there was no question, I know you was down to ride by my side. Unique as a rose, for the ashes I rose. Straight from the gutter, I grew up in nose. When I made it out, I couldn't believe. Look at the beauty outside of the streets. Mama just texted me, told me she proud of me. Your son doing better, my demon just danced with me. I'll never end up another Yumbler casualty. Value the life and energy surrounding me. But still, I just wanna get fly with you. So fly, so fly. Really just trying to get high with you. So high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just trying to get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. We can be like Eric and Donna from the 70s show. Maybe Monica and Chandler, keep it on the low. Ross and Rachel, fucker, we let everybody know. Millhouse and Lisa type shit, give us time to grow. Like the seeds that were planted right under the snow, give them 6 months. Ordinaries to glow from the sunshine. Greatness takes time. One conversation, it should be mine. Trying to have an answer me, not take from me, cause I'm whole already. But I'm also kind of damaged, I got hoes already. Still a fly young king, so the hoes already. Melody, sand wavy in the flow, with steady newbie swag with a little bit of mom spaghetti. There is a kind of lyrical, no, it's not a subliminal. With pissy elevators and smoking my swimming pools. And I made it out. Yeah, I struggle from time to time, but I'm happy now. Obstacles coming in, I see them, but I ain't backing down. Old homies that hated on me still coming back around. But I'm cool with it, cause we fly like paper, get high like planes. Sitting here laughing at all y'all lanes. I'm a beast unleashed, I can't be tamed. But you won't ever forget my name. L-I-B-R-A. I just wanna get fly with you. So fly, so fly. Really just trying to get high with you. So high, so high. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon. I just wanna get fly with you, with you, with you. Really just trying to get high with you, with you, with you. They can't understand why we do everything, everywhere, every day. We walk on the moon.
Well, Dak, here's the deal. I'm the best there is, plain and simple. I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet and planet Earth, in parts some might call unknown, it is time for Season 5, Episode 12 of the House Divided podcast. We are here. We are back. It is been 3 months of this show. Of this season, I should say.
Yeah, and somehow we've been pretty much on schedule.
Mostly, other than a occasional charter outage.
Yeah, that happened last week. It did indeed occur last week.
So
Thank you, charter.
yeah.
Thank you.
We got some news. We got some stuff we want to talk about in today's show. We're going to try and keep it short because, well, next week is the preview show for the Ohio State-Michigan game, meaning that will be a longer show, considering those are teams we both cover in various aspects of social media. Let's see. I'm being told today is a very special day because today is the day that West Virginia recruits begin decommitting. Ugh, I wouldn't call that special. That's rough. But
Oh no.
we'll talk about West Virginia in a little bit in our picks. I think, if I remember correctly.
Are they in there?
Yes.
Did I throw them in there?
Yes. I got stuff to say about West Virginia.
Oh, no.
And, well, more stuff to say about the team they play. So, let's start with Stupid People Say Stupid Things and get into the show. Gordon,
Yes.
do you choose to want to lead us off today, or do you want me to?
Why the hell not? Let's
Bingo.
let's get her going. All right. 3 from me here today. From the world of Instagram,
Oh, God.
we have Carter, who, in response to Carlos Dunlap throwing a shoe in the Seattle Seahawks game,
I don't know what it
against the
is
Green
with,
Bay. Florida players and throwing shoes, man.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
I don't.
It's something
I
we
don't
do
know.
down there, apparently. I was never told about that, otherwise I would have done it
Right.
at various levels of football.
It's a very clear 15-yard penalty. Like, you just can't do it. It's hilarious and it's funny, but you can't do it.
No.
Come on.
I have a soundbite for that.
Carter says, I don't care what you say. That's not a flag, nor is that 15 yards worthy. Fix your sport, NFL. He then continued to double down when people said it's literally a stupid thing to do. Like, why are you doing it? It's worth a flag. He says at that point of the game, no, it's not. Man just threw a shoe and the flag makes it seem like he killed the player. When asked, why would it not be a flag? Carter simply says, it's just a shoe. You kind of need those if
It's
you're going to play football.
100% a flag.
It's
Like there is no, yes, I did get enough letters from the state of Michigan about taunting and various unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
Goodness gracious. So, Carter, you're stupid. We now move on to...
Also, yes, that individual who was cheering or Steelers fan, those individuals who were cheering and doing the wave when a Jacksonville Jaguars player was hurt on the field, yes, some of those did make stupid people say stupid things.
Oh, no.
From a couple weeks ago.
We move on to somebody who I'm surprised isn't on here more, and that is Rico Beard. 97 won the ticket. Big Spartan homer is what it is. MSU wore those awful neon green jerseys this weekend. Or sorry, not the neon green jerseys, but they just have neon green stuff on them.
Yeah, the nameplates and the number plates. They're odd.
And the big old state across the front that doesn't even fit on the whole front of the jersey. It gets cut off at the armpit.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I know of that. Yeah. Continue.
They broke those. MSU broke those out this weekend, and they did win the game. We'll get to that in the college football recap. Rico, after the game, says neon jerseys are now 4-0. Just saying. Speaking of what you just said, West Virginia just got a notification, loses key 2020 our running back commit. I would assume that's why that was said in the first place.
Continue with stupid people say.
Received an offer for Michigan and Tennessee. Oh boy. The problem with the neon jerseys now being 4-0 is that they wore them last season when they blew a massive lead to Illinois and lost. So they are not 4-0. They're 3-1 because Brandon Peters happened to MSU.
Fucking Brandon Peters.
Yep. And finally, from the world of Twitter.
They are 4-0 if you ignore the loss. Yes.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
Oh God, that's
alive.
That is clear. That's gold right there. How continue
on a Black Flags Matter post. Usually he'd be the stupid person saying a stupid thing, but he retweeted over the weekend the terrible apology from Joseph Lombard, a NASCAR YouTuber, former NASCAR YouTuber, that it was the 1-year anniversary of his terrible apology after he was caught sending very inappropriate messages to minors.
What?
Yeah, that happened.
Please tell me this guy never had a media pass.
He did not, I don't believe.
I had never heard of this. This is actually probably the first time I've heard about this.
Yeah.
That I know of. I'm sure I may have heard of it or saw it in passing or heard of it somehow, but this is the first time that I can remember hearing of it, and good God, what the fuck?
It's really, and the apology thing that he tweeted out was just so bad. We have Billy Pendergrass coming in on Twitter, who apparently had no clue that that's what it was about. He thought it was cancel culture, being woke, and things like that. Words are only harmful if we let them be. People have forgotten about sticks and stones. And he was very quickly corrected. And shout out to Stefan on Twitter for doing this. He says, little bit more than sticks and stones. Dude got caught sending nudes to kids. Billy just says, oh shit, did not know that part. But didn't delete the tweet. Like, it's still there. Like, when you're so stupid and you say something so uninformed, just why keep that up?
This is, again, the first time I'm hearing of this, and how is this guy still on the internet? Like, holy shit.
I don't know if he is.
Like, all of this, I'm being told I'm reading Twitch chat here, and Ash says that he was, that Arco West teams had a rule to keep him away from Haley Deegan, and what the, like, was this guy just a dickbag?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously.
He's not the worst dickbag he's second worst dickbag of the NASCAR YouTuber community thing that is just terrible. What's the other guy's name?
Jason Jacoby?
Not that guy. Yes.
Thank you. I wouldn't have known that.
Jason Jacoby was actually charged with criminal stuff, and then apparently bonded out and had some sort of order in the bond that he couldn't be on the internet, but he's on the internet.
What the fuck is wrong with being so far removed from anything NASCAR? Apparently Jacoby is online, and apparently he's found Jesus.
Yeah,
I don't think Jesus wants people like that.
No,
I could be wrong, but
I don't remember the account that he's tweeting from. It's got a nameless gray Twitter face.
Of course.
It's like, so it's not his name on it, so I don't remember what it was. But it was unbelievable. Like, I spent like a half hour reading the replies to this, and it was some of the most delusional stuff I've ever heard.
What
like,
the fuck?
Good God. But that's it for stupid people saying stupid things. Is Jason Jacoby or Joseph Lombard still on the internet?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
The last tweet he sent was the awful, awful apology. Good
What
Lord.
the fuck? Well, I have 3. Mine comes from My first one comes from Facebook.
Okay.
This person, her name is Rhonda. This came about just after last week's college football playoff rankings. The only reason this did not make it into last week's Stupid People Say Stupid Things is because I didn't see it till Thursday. Rhonda's Facebook post says, "As a West Coast resident, I am sick and tired of the Big Ten and SEC teams being overrated, while a team like Oregon has to fight to be in the top 4. In the first game of the season, Oregon beat Ohio State. It was actually the second game.
That was the second game.
And the college football world called it a major upset. Since then, I've watched Ohio State lose to other Big Ten teams.
Huh?
I don't believe it belongs in the top 4. I don't know what Ohio State Rhonda's watching.
I'm really confused. I don't believe they've lost outside of the Oregon game.
Ohio State hasn't lost a Big Ten game since 2018.
Yeah.
Hasn't
Maybe
lost a game in the.
I mean, if she's on the West Coast and watching Big Ten Network, maybe she's watching when they replay those classic games or whatever. Maybe that's what she's watching.
Right? She just watches the 2018 Ohio State Purdue game on repeat.
Right. Or like when the last time Michigan State beat you guys, like, are those the Ohio State losses she's watching? Like, what's going on?
Ohio State's hasn't lost a Big Ten game since 2018. Yeah. I don't know what she's getting at. Okay, second one.
Did you expect Rhonda to know what she was talking about?
Did I expect a 70-year-old woman on Facebook to know something about sports? No.
No.
I'm amazed that at her age she knows how to use Facebook.
I mean, she might know how to use Facebook. Apparently her eyes aren't working too well, though.
I'm just confused. Moving on to my next one. One that I'm surprised this individual has not been on the show in some time.
Uh-oh.
Colin Cowherd.
Oh no.
Tweeted this after the United States men's national team beat Mexico 2-0. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Colin Cowherd tweeted, "While I'm in a good mood, I guess Greg Berhalter isn't completely clueless. I wish some of you USMT fans, MNT fans, would give that a rest."
See, this is why Colin just shouldn't talk about anything ever.
Colin Cowherd is one of those people that has repeatedly shit on Greg Berhalter.
Oh no. Even worse. See,
repeatedly.
He probably feels like he just knows. He probably feels like he knows enough, but in reality, he knows the bare minimum about soccer in general. It has been a little bit for Colin. He hasn't been in this segment in a little while.
No, it's been a minute.
But his face is always there, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. I made that a long time ago.
And lastly, this one comes from Drake. Drake on Twitter. Oh. Drake Efron.
Oh, not that Drake. Not like Toronto Raptors Drake.
No. Links are not appearing in chat because this is not my chat. I cannot make links appear in chat. So that's why we have not seen. Apparently,
what's going on?
Apparently Ash found Jason Jacoby's current Twitter.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Apparently they're not. So I'll continue this. Drake Efron tweeted about LeBron James and a couple other players who were not dressed being on the court and courtside on the bench on whatever day this was.
Okay.
I have a problem with this right here. LeBron James is not the coach, and he is not dressed in uniform to play, and he is on the injured list. Regardless of what has happened, he or any other player should not be on the court. Any other players not in uniform should not be on the court. The league needs to put their foot down on this. If you are not dressed to play in the game and ruled out, you are not to be allowed on the court, period.
I see.
They have a head coach and assistant coaches for that. You stay off the court.
Oh boy. Why are people stupid?
Like, why does it matter that he's not dressed? Why can't he be on the bench? Why can't he be? And this was like on some like Bleacher Report betting tweet or something like that. Like,
It's an interesting spot for it.
well, they showed a video of the Lakers game, and it showed a highlight, and then something happened. I think it was when Anthony Davis got teed up for trying to tie his shoe. Because he kind of stopped mid. He stopped like mid play, like right in the middle of the play after a basket was scored, trying to put his shoe back on. And
More shoes.
yeah. The ref was unhappy with it because whoever the Lakers were playing inbounded the ball over his head, and Anthony Davis got teed up. Yeah.
Poor man.
I don't understand why this man was upset. I don't understand. But the reason LeBron comes into this is because the camera panned over to LeBron and a couple other players who were not dressed on the sideline. So, yeah.
I give up.
Why that ref called a technical there, I don't get it. I don't watch enough basketball to understand why that's a technical. It shouldn't be. He's kind of an idiot, but NBA officiating is terrible. Jordan, I'm gonna send you this link to this Twitter.
Okay.
Because I know I'm sure you're gonna have a field day with it one day.
Oh, I've read through it. Unless he's posted some new stuff.
Moving on though, let's get into the news.
Shall we do the news? Oh yeah, NASCAR loves you. Oh good God. Yes, news. I'll read that stuff later.
But yes, that's essentially what Drake here is saying, is that no player dressed, whether in any sport, should be on their sideline or in their dugout if they're not partaking. Do you want to take this first piece of news? Because I'm excited for the second.
I really don't.
Well, here, I'll take the first couple because you could do all the motorsport stuff, especially the NASCAR stuff.
Right. Yeah, well, it's not. Yeah, it's just
because
a little bit, tiny bit of NASCAR stuff. Silly season's a fun time.
We'll start with this first piece of news, which, well, this story won't die.
No.
John Gruden.
Like fourth appearance in the news.
Yeah, it's overtaken Bishop Sycamore, and how many times it's made this segment.
It's came back more than Texas coming back into the top 25 before dropping out again.
Yeah, Texas is not back, but this unfortunately is.
Still not back.
John Gruden is suing both the NFL and Roger Goodell, saying he was targeted by the league office.
Sure is.
That's something that's happening.
maybe don't say the things you said.
Don't be an awful human being.
Don't be an ass. Like, huh?
Yeah, don't be a scumbag. Don't be a shitlord.
Said he was gonna do it, and he fucking did.
Yeah, I mean, I have no words.
Man of his word, I suppose.
Yeah, apparently.
In a good way.
Moving on, though, because I could go on about this for a bit, but I'm not going to.
Just reference it and
Yep.
move the fuck on. I am so over John Gruden.
So I'm so over this entire scenario. I wish Goodell would just release the league findings on Gruden, on the Washington football team. Just release them to the public and just be done with it. Sweep it away. It's not going to happen, but it needs to.
Right.
And hopefully something like this, Goodell just says, you know what, fuck this, and does it. Because already in the court of, well, what should be the court of public, the full court of public opinion, I know it's not because some people are fucking idiots. Gruden's an ass bag.
Some people agree with what Gruden said.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Gruden is a terrible human being.
This? Oh, this is a Jason Jacoby tweet.
What the fuck am I?
Oh man, I gotta somewhere on there. There's like a website that he has. Oh yeah, here it is.
I wish I wouldn't have read that. My brain is.
You really go to, it's actually his website, raceandjasonjacoby.com after this, and go and read his article called Dale Jr. Naked and Exposed. It will fry your brain. It will actually fry your brain. It is that stupid.
Moving on, because I have nowhere else to. The United States men's national team, powered by goals from Christian Pulisic and Weston McKennie, beat the Mexican national team 2-0. For those of you who don't know Spanish very well, 2-0 on Friday night to have the first clean sweep and 3-0 calendar year against the Mexican national team in history. And that was the first clean sweep in the series that has been going on since 1934. The first clean sweep in the series since 1936.
You were very pumped about this.
I was excited. I loved it. I loved all of this. If you guys want any more, want to know how excited I was about this, go back and watch last week's backdoor cover while the game was going on.
Specifically the ending bit.
The last little bit.
The last 20, 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Because of a draw against Jamaica last night and Team Canada beating Mexico, the United States is now second in World Cup qualifying for the CONCACAF region, our region here in America, in this portion of the world. The United States, more importantly, is now 17 wins, 6 draws, and 9 losses against Mexico since the year 2000. However, in the overall series dating back to 1934, they are 22 wins, 15 draws, 36 losses.
Still pretty solid.
Yeah. And honestly, with the way the trajectories both programs are going, you look at the Mexican national team, they just lost to Canada. That hasn't happened in meaningful soccer. That has not happened in 10 years, I think. 10 plus years, if I remember correctly.
Canada was favored in that game. Think about that.
Which just doesn't happen.
Think about that. Canada was favored to win a soccer game over Mexico. What world are we living in?
Usually here in CONCACAF region in terms of soccer, it's Mexico, U.S. at the top, and then Canada a very distant third, and then everybody else.
Fucking Canada, man. There you go. I bet Jeff is pumped for that.
Also, a bit more on the 3-0 year, the 3 wins, 0 losses, 0 ties year against Mexico. One came in World Cup qualifying, one came in Gold Cup, a Gold Cup final, and one came in the CONCACAF Nations League final. All 3 of them major tournament wins for the United States.
Big stuff. Very excited for the future of the U.S. men's national team. Looking pretty good.
I'll take this last bit of news. Actually, you want to take this piece of news, and I'll talk
Not
about
really.
the.
I don't know much about what was said.
There's
so
not a lot to know about this.
It's just that.
It's pretty much what I typed.
All right. Well, we'll throw this in there. Justin Thomas says that Tiger Woods is only going to return to competitive golf, of course, after he had the terrible car accident, if he can play well. Is there anything to add? Anything more on that?
Really, the only other thing to add is Tiger was last seen a couple weeks ago, at a golf tournament his son was playing on. He was able. Justin Thomas, a close friend of Tiger's.
See, that I didn't know.
They talk a lot.
I figured they were like decent, friends or whatnot, but I don't know how close they are.
They talk a lot. Tiger apparently is just enjoying being a dad right now, and he was last seen about 2 weeks ago, if I remember correctly, at one of his son's golf tournaments. He was on crutches. He was able to get around well. He still did need the aid of crutches, though. But he is enjoying being a dad.
Well, that's good. Good for Tiger. Glad he's somewhat all right at the time.
I will take this bit of news because I did watch the F1, most of the F1 race. I missed like the first 5 laps.
I unfortunately only caught maybe the last 20.
Okay, because of the stupidity going on with the Lions and Steelers.
Fucking hell. We'll get to that. We will fucking get to that.
Lewis Hamilton won the Brazilian Grand Prix this past weekend by about 10.49 seconds, 10.5 seconds, something like that.
It was always Lewis.
After starting 10th, Lewis had some drama this weekend.
Holy fuck, did he?
He finished first in qualifying for the sprint race that was going to set the grid. Sprint race Saturday that was going to set the grid for Sunday. Yeah. Side note: I do enjoy the sprint races. They make Saturdays a bit more fun.
Yeah, I like them. I wouldn't want them every weekend.
No.
It'd be like too much of a good thing.
I like them at tracks like this. At tracks that they're good for, I like.
Sprinkled in amongst the schedule, these Saturday sprints are a good time. They're a lot of fun.
But anyhow, so it was already known at the beginning of the year or beginning of the weekend that Lewis was going to take a 5-place grid penalty because of the engine change.
Yep.
However, apparently because he had a unregulated occurrence with his DRS on Friday.
Yeah.
I don't even really recall what all it was about. Apparently, it's just something with his DRS system was illegal.
Yeah, something that the FIA did not appreciate.
They didn't even really tell us what it was. They just it's yeah.
That would require the FIA being transparent, which is something they're not good at.
Yeah, it doesn't exist with them. So that he qualified first for the sprint race on Saturday. That got completely DQ'd, so he had to start in 20th.
Sure did.
He finished 5th in the sprint race on Saturday. Because of the 5-place grid penalty, he dropped to 10th. And he had himself a race.
I mean, you can't even be shocked by it. Like, that's such a Lewis Hamilton thing to go out there and do. Like, there's nobody out there on the grid, I don't think, that could do what Lewis did. Nobody.
No. Honestly, Max could possibly do it.
I don't even know if Max can do it right now. Maybe down the road in his career. I mean, talk about just bounce back after bounce back. Like,
he had himself some drama. Moving on with the rest of the podium, unless you have anything else to say.
I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, I'm not the biggest Lewis Hamilton fan, but I mean, you can't just disregard the greatness that we're seeing with him. Crazy.
Moving on with the rest of the podium, Max Verstappen did finish second after, I believe, starting on pole, if I remember correctly. And Valtteri Bottas, or was it Valtteri who finished? Valtteri finished on pole, or started on pole.
Valtteri, I do believe, won the sprint.
So yeah, he won the sprint. I think it was Max at second, if I remember correctly. Valtteri finished third. However, the big also Max Verstappen got, I believe, a $50,000 fine from the FIA for breaking park firm regulations and bumping into the back of Lewis's car on Friday.
Huh.
That happened.
I know Lewis was under some investigations as well. Something about taking his seatbelts off on the, I don't know if they call it the same thing in F1, but the cool down lap.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got anything with that. I'm glad there were no for both Lewis and Max. I'm glad there were no points taken away. Like,
yeah, Lewis is getting like a $10,000 fine for taking his seatbelt off in the in lap, which apparently is something the FIA is cracking down on this year. Like, okay, whatever. However, the biggest news from the race weekend,
this I don't like.
I do not like this, is that Team Mercedes as a whole, is wanting an investigation on Max Verstappen's defensive move in lap 48 on whatever turn it was. I can't remember what turn it was now.
1, 2, 3. I believe turn 4.
Okay, that sounds about right. That sent him and Lewis very wide.
Very, very wide. They were, I mean, Lewis was probably 30 feet off into the runoff area.
Yeah, and Max was about 29.
15. Yeah, well, yeah, they were both off the track a little bit. But,
according to Mercedes, there was some supposed contact there. However, what frustrates me and why I don't like it, in interviews, both Lewis and Max thought it was a good move, was a clean move.
Well, and I don't remember who at Mercedes had said this. I don't know if it was Toto or somebody, but they're like, we wanna win stuff on the track, and it's like you already won. Like, what do you? I don't know. I don't like it. Just reaching at straws. They're trying to get points deducted.
Apparently, Mercedes says they had someone on Mercedes says they have new damning evidence against Max, and again, both Lewis and Max didn't have any. I mean, Max, of course, wasn't really going to have an issue with it.
No.
Lewis didn't really seem to have an issue with it.
No, and I think that they're just both racers, and I don't think they want stuff like that to be really a thing. Like they want to have it all play out on the track, and people at Mercedes don't agree with that. Apparently, because they said that they have.
If you go back and watch it, it was 100%. It wasn't like Max was swerving around.
Right.
If he would have made one defensive move and then changed that into a second or third,
then we have problems.
Yeah, because the rules say you can't do. You make one in turns. You make one move. And he made one move. He didn't make 2 or 3. Yeah. He was not. He had control of the car.
You're perfectly allowed to make that one move.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't like him.
Yeah. Moving on, I'll let you take care of this because you read this and you know more about all of this than I do.
Yes. So one of my favorite things in motorsports. I mean, the off season, shorter in motorsports than anywhere else, but silly season, as it's called in NASCAR. It's probably not called that in F1.
It kind of is,
but it's the same scenario. Just the movement of drivers to different teams, the creation of new teams, crazy stuff like that. I figured we do a bit of a rundown for what's happened in both F1 and NASCAR to this point, and just get that out of the way, and then if anything else comes around, we can update it in future episodes. Not much in the world of F1 right now. A lot of teams like sticking with their lineups from this season. Ferrari, McLaren, teams like that. They're pretty much sticking with what they got. So what we know for F1, we have 3, and that's Kimi. Well, I guess 4 technically. Kimi Räikkönen retiring. Valtteri Bottas is going to be replacing him at Alfa Romeo. We knew that.
Yep.
And we knew that going to Mercedes to replace Bottas was George Russell moving over from Williams. But one that broke and what really spawned all of this was out of nowhere, the other Alfa Romeo seat was taken by Guan Yu Zhou, a Formula 2 driver right now, a couple-time race winner over there in F2. He's replacing Italian Jesus, Antonio Giovinazzi.
So I'm gonna say, go ahead.
I feel bad for Antonio. It's kind of like how people were feeling with Esteban Ocon when he got bumped from Renault. Like, yeah, that just sucks. Like, you hate it. But
like, so first off to Zhao, good for him. He's a solid driver. First Chinese driver in F1. Good for him.
Yeah, which I couldn't believe. I really could not believe that he's the first. Like, that's insane. Like in a sport like in a sanctioning body like NASCAR, of course you wouldn't expect it, but like in F1, I mean F1's got a very diverse history. So this one was very bizarre to me. I was shocked by that.
However, again, for Giovinazzi, I think he will find AC eventually again.
Yeah, I don't think he's done in F1 by any means. This isn't Marcus Ericsson. I don't think Giovinazzi's coming over to race an IndyCar or anything like that. But it is good for Guan Yu Zhou.
Yep.
I know a lot of the comments of this move were that they think he's a pay driver. They're calling him Mazepin 2.0. I don't see that. I think Zhou actually has some talent and can win some races.
He's better than Mazepin.
I mean, easily.
Do I think he's going to be an elite F1 driver? And I don't know. But he's not a terrible... He's going to finish races. Which, Mazepin's finished, 2 this year?
I don't know. It doesn't feel like a lot.
I know he finished... I know he finished Brazil.
I don't see him on that same level. I mean, and you look across the grid. I mean, we got pay drivers all over the place. Like, just Lance Stroll and Daddy Stroll. Like, that's the only reason that Lance has a ride. I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
There's only like a couple drivers on the grid that aren't necessarily pay drivers. I mean, it's just a thing in motorsports. And complaining about it doesn't do any good. I mean, money talks and runs these programs, so it is what it is. I do still hate the Haas stuff. That will never be good to me. But we move on to NASCAR, and we have a metric fuck ton of things to
roll
talk
with
about.
it. Roll it.
So we got these are in order by car number. So we'll start off with Starcom Racing. They are shutting down. This isn't relatively new. This broke a couple weeks ago now. They have sold their charter to 2311 Racing, but initially it was going to go to Spire. That was interesting. It would have been nice to see Spire have the 2 charters to run the 7 and the 77 with LaJoy and whoever they want to throw in that 77. Would have been nice to see. But don't hate it going to 2311. We'll get to the driver who will be driving that second 2311 car in a little bit. Ross Chastain will be moving sort of to Trackhouse Racing, Chip Ganassi Racing. They are no more. And the charter that went along, one of the charters that went along with it, has gone to what now?
Stop you for 1 second. Apparently, Spire still has the Starcom charter, but they're leasing it to 2311.
Ah, see, that's interesting. I did not know that, and I didn't see that anywhere. But that would make sense.
I'm glad I looked over at a Twitch chat for a second.
I got the notes up, so I can't. Because I got to read all this stuff off. But that's very good. So Ross Chastain will be at Trackhouse, second Trackhouse car alongside Daniel Suarez. That's good. Presumptively the number one car. I would assume that would move over to Ganassi, or from Ganassi to Trackhouse. You would think. Who knows? They might do something wild. You never know. Something we've known about for a very long time, and that's Brad Keselowski joining Roush Fenway Racing with an ownership stake involved. They have now rebranded as RFK Racing, Roush Fenway Keselowski, and just released the paint scheme of the car that they have been, or will be, and have been testing, I would assume. There was some testing going on today, so I don't know if RFK was out there with Keselowski in the 6 car, but, people saw the car, and they hate it because, of course, the number placement. They slid the number up right below the A post, right behind the front wheel. It's growing on me. I kind of like it. And especially because, at least for this test car, the 6 car had chrome numbers, which is something that hasn't even been allowed in NASCAR for a very long time. That was really cool to see. And I hope they keep that once they get like an actual paint scheme with sponsors and everything, because that RFK scheme that they revealed the other day will not be their paint scheme for the regular season. Need some sponsors on that thing. But that's very cool. And I'd like, they changed up the 6 font on that car. Love it. Replacing Brad at Penske is going to be Austin Cindric, who was inches away from another Xfinity championship. Lost out to Daniel Hemrick. We talked about that when it happened. Oh boy. So Cindric goes to the 2 car. Penske will have the 2 of Cindric, 22 of Logano, 12 of Ryan Blaney. It's good for Cindric. I mean, he's been dominating the Xfinity series last couple seasons, and good for him. So deserves the ride, and it was going to take something. Logano wasn't going anywhere. I didn't think Blaney was going anywhere. But Brad wanted to leave. He went and found Roush, and they did their deal. So Cindric to the 2 car. Something that I'm pretty pumped about. I don't know how successful they'll be right off the bat, but I think they'll get there eventually, and that's Colin Racing. They've had an Xfinity program for the last couple of years and have been really, really good with drivers like Justin Haley, who will run the 16 car for them full-time next season. And AJ Allmendinger, of course. I mean, ran a full-time Xfinity Series schedule, won the nonsense earlier this season Cup. Absolute crazy stuff there. But Justin Haley will run the 16 car full-time. Something we've talked about in a much different light. Harrison Burton replaces Matt DiBenedetto in the Wood Brothers 21. Fuck Matt DiBenedetto.
All I'm gonna say is I don't watch NASCAR. I have zero anything in NASCAR, zero anything stake of anything of any of. I don't like NASCAR. I just don't. I have zero involvement in NASCAR. But the fact that Matt DiBenedetto is out is fucking good.
Yeah, I mean,
just the.
Did you ever watch the video where he's like almost in tears because of the stupid shit that he was doing?
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious. I can't feel bad for him. That's all. That's all self-inflicted there, bud.
Like,
I'm probably going to mispronounce some of this next bit. I can guarantee you. Team Ezeberg, out of nowhere, will make a part-time debut next year, and this name is going to be Loris Hezemans. Zero idea how to pronounce that. And Jacques Villeneuve. That's somebody that you a name that you should be familiar to you.
Yeah, this is a surprise.
Right. Well, he's run a little bit in NASCAR. Road courses, stuff like that, and that will be where Team Hesselberg will be running for the most part, as road courses and maybe some short tracks. So cool stuff there. Always good to have new teams in. And with the next gen car coming, that's kind of what it's meant to do. Make things a little bit cheaper, allow for a little bit more teams to come into the sport. So good stuff there. I'm sure you're very upset about this next one.
Apparently Jacques is no longer involved with that team. Something apparently broke. That's why I'm seeing in Twitch chat.
When the hell did this happen?
I'm trying to figure that out right now.
God damn it. I was excited about that. I read that and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. NASCAR.com should probably change that.
That's why I'm attempting to find out right now.
Damn it. Fast Pasta.
Let's see.
Anthony Alfredo. Go ahead.
Sponsorship money, apparently.
That makes sense.
Thank you, Ash.
Yep. I mean, she apparently knows more than we do.
She likes NASCAR.
Hey, there we go. Good. I mean, I'd say it's a good spot for you then, but I'm the only one that talks NASCAR. Christ. Anthony Alfredo will not be returning to the Front Row Motorsports number 38 car. No replacement is named there. I feel like it felt like every race that I tuned into, which was the majority of them, that fucking green 38 car was involved in some sort of crash. It's just like, I know that's not factual, but it's just what it felt like. It's always fucking crashing. So future remains unspecified, I do believe, for Anthony Alfredo. We'll see where he winds up. Something I'm very excited about, because it is one of my favorite names in possibly all of sports. It isn't his real first name, but Booty Barker will remain the crew chief for Bubba Wallace and the number 23 team after the midseason switch that saw 2311 win their first race, win Bubba Wallace's first race. And good for Booty Barker, man. Been around the sport a long time, and more success hopefully coming their way. JTG Darty Racing, they will be cutting back to a one-car team, which means Ryan Preece is a free agent, as Ricky Stenhouse Jr. has already announced he's staying in the 47. So the 37 is no more. We'll see where Preece winds up. I'd imagine he goes somewhere, but it'll be interesting to see where he winds up. Kurt Busch, there's that other 2311 team that we were talking about. Kurt Busch has moved on from Chip Ganassi Racing after they have sold, and will be driving the number 45 car for 2311, which is very interesting because that was the number that Michael Jordan wore in like that one weird game that he came out of retirement. When he came out of retirement, I think he wore 45. Very interesting. So the 45 car for 2311. Monster Energy appears to have come over from Ganassi with Kurt Busch, and we'll see how involved they are. See if it's a big deal. I mean, NASCAR these days, you run into a different paint scheme every week, it seems, because you got a different sponsor, but we'll see. And the last bit of news that I have for now, I tried to find everything. I might have missed something. Clearly, I missed some things. But Ty Dillon will be making his return to the Cup Series as he becomes the first ever full-time driver for GMS Racing, who's had success in the Truck Series. I mean, good for them. It's kind of the same deal as Colleague, you know, a team that started out in the lower series, and GMS just continued to work their way on up. So good for him. Good for Ty Dillon. I like Ty Dillon way more than Austin Dillon. I'll tell you that right.
So take a drink of water, catch your breath. You did miss one, apparently.
What did I miss?
Natalie Decker appears to be in line for a full-time Xfinity ride next year. Just no reports on what team.
I didn't touch Xfinity.
Oh, okay. That explains that then. Okay, so
we would have been here forever.
Oh, fair enough.
Way more moves in Xfinity than anything else. But good for Natalie Decker.
I'll take these last three pieces of news. Because I think that's all we got. Because I've done some research in all of these. And I did the write-up for all three of these.
This next one, fucking good one. What the hell?
So, starting off, the University of Washington fires their head ball coach, Jimmy Lake. Lake was on suspension for striking a player during their game against Oregon last week.
It was a very interesting scenario there.
He did not even really get to serve that suspension. Well, he did. He served the one game and then just got fired after it. The Washington Huskies.
That's in the realm of take 2 weeks off, then quit.
Yeah. That's essentially what they said. Washington Huskies started 19th this season in the AP. They were a favorite to win the Pac-12 and make the college football playoff. However, they've gone 4-5 this year, 7-6 in his tenure. There are reports coming out of Seattle, out of Washington there, that Jimmy Lake had no allies, had very few allies. He was handpicked by Gary Peterson there. And even then, Gary Peterson left. He didn't leave the program. He's a special advisor or whatever to the Washington Huskies, special athletic advisor to the Washington Huskies, or the athletic director of the Washington Huskies, who the fuck knows. He had very few allies in the program, and his recruiting efforts were some of the worst they had ever seen. In fact, I have a quote here.
Oh, no.
That I thought was comical. Was just comical. I gotta go find. I had a quote. And it was, let's see, where did it go? Where did it go?
And let's be clear on one thing with Jimmy Lake. It's not like he didn't go and swing at a player on the sideline with like a closed fist, but he did. He gave him a shove.
Which you just can't do in this day and age.
No, and I don't really think you ever really could. I mean, you probably could get away with it, but it still wasn't probably seen as something that was a thing that you should do. Looked like he went and targeted that one specific player. It looked like I don't know. Like what? They were trying to keep the team on the sideline or something, and he just gave.
I can't find that.
I don't know.
I can't find that quote anymore. It was comical because they were comparing him to one of the worst coaches in Washington football history.
Fucking who? I don't know. I'm not brushed up on my Washington football.
Like Ty Harrington or whatever.
Why does that name sound familiar? It really
Tyler.
does.
It was like it's something I can't remember who it was right off the top of my head, but one of the worst coaches in Washington football history.
I mean, they went out and they lost to Montana in that first game of the year. That shit was wild. That hurt Michigan's fucking resume. I'll tell you that, because that was supposed to be a big game.
Yeah,
they were supposed to be ranked, and we weren't supposed to be ranked. And well, we still weren't ranked.
Tyrone Willingham. There we go. That's what it was.
Okay, then that name doesn't even sound familiar.
Yeah, Tyrone Willingham. There, that's what they were comparing him to Willingham, who his best season was 5-7. That's what they were.
They are
comparing.
What they're saying is that he's the Washington football version of Rod Marinelli.
Yes.
I will never forgive Rod Marinelli for what he did. Fucking 0-16 head coach. R.I.P.
I'm gonna go to the other one in the big one in the college football coaching carousel before I get to this last piece. Okay. This happened I believe yesterday. The Virginia Tech Hokies also fired their head ball coach, Justin Fuente. Fuente was 43-31 at Virginia Tech. Made it to one ACC championship game. They lost to Clemson. That was back in 2016.
That'll happen.
They were 1-3 in bowl games. None of them were major games. They were the Belk Bowl, which was a win. The Military Bowl, the Camping Worldwide Bowl, and then the Belk Bowl.
Camping World what bowl?
Camping Worldwide Bowl.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't wait. I cannot wait until we do bowl game picks to go through.
No,
all
it
of
was just the
these
Camping
terrible-
World Bowl. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say what the fuck is Camping Worldwide?
Yeah. That's my bad.
That's okay.
Those are those two.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait for bowl game picks. The
Fuck.
fucking names of these bowl games are just they get more hilarious as the years
Every
go
year.
on.
Fuck. So we'll talk. I want to talk about these two first. The Washington Fire. This is honestly a rough look if you're a Michigan fan, and we'll talk about this in length depending on what happens these next few weeks with Michigan football, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
This is a kind of rough look if you're a Michigan fan hoping Harbaugh's time at Michigan begins to come to an end soon. Because
it's not. We already know it's not.
Well, yeah, Harbaugh's time is not going to be coming to an end anytime soon, no matter what happens.
I mean, he's going to be there until he retires. It's just probably the way it is.
Yeah. The Washington Fire is of Jimmy Lake's a rough look because honestly, with what the Michigan athletic program has done with wanting Michigan men as coaches, has made.
Don't think that'll happen again.
I don't think it will either. After everything that's come out about Bo Schembechler and him being a scumlord,
you want to move away from that. I mean, that would be the smart way to go. And truth be told, like I said, we're out of Michigan men. Whatever that
Les
means.
Miles.
Like, no, do not give me Les Miles.
I was gonna say he's the only one left.
8 years ago, maybe I would have said yes. Now, hell no.
He's the only one left.
He did. He was almost our head coach over Brady Hoke, but that broke down. Yeah, that actually happened.
Because you got everything going on right now. You got USC that supposedly has a job opening. There's talks about James Franklin going to USC. Talks about Mario Cristobal leaving Oregon to possibly go to USC.
If USC wants James Franklin, then holy fuck, get ready for some disappointment there, boys.
Well, yeah.
James Franklin makes Jim Harbaugh look great.
Yeah, and that's hard to do at times.
James Franklin.
We'll talk about We'll talk about the James Franklin Jim Harbaugh matchup here shortly.
We sure will.
You got the job down in Baton Rouge opened up. LSU has their job opening up here in a couple weeks. You got what, in all honesty, should happen. The job in Florida. Dan Mullen should be losing his job soon.
Oh my god! I know it's not in the top 25, but that fucking Florida game. I don't.
God. Neil Brown at West Virginia should be losing his job soon because West Virginia's not been good. West Virginia is not on the same level of.
No, they're not a powerhouse.
Of Washington, where University of Washington has every year been a early season favorite to make it to the college football playoff, or they've been one of those teams.
Ever since Jake Locker was there, man, it feels like they've been up at that level. But
yeah, they've been there. USC is this year just I don't know. USC is a high power program. Florida, LSU, well,
sort of.
They're not really. They're a high profile program.
They're a high profile or a high power in the same way that Michigan's high power. You know. It's just one of the. It's like Duke or Kentucky in basketball.
Yeah.
You know, like whether they're good or bad, they are going to. They're just.
Yeah,
they are what they are.
They are high profile USC high profile program. LSU in normal years, I've said it a lot on this show. I think the players are kind of quit on Ed Ogeron because, well, apparently he's kind of a scumbag.
Well, that and I don't know. That team itself is not good.
Not good this year. LSU
they were good. They
normally
were good 1 year under Ogeron because they got Joey Burrow.
Yeah, that 1 year. But in normal years, they're a top 3 SEC team, top 4 SEC team, always in contention for the SEC titles. Just Alabama's a nuclear-powered buzzsaw. And then same thing with the Florida Gators. They're usually a top 4 team unless they have a really bad year. They just have to run into that nuclear-powered buzzsaw of Alabama. All of those programs right now, because of how the Michigan Wolverines, because of what and obviously it should be changing soon just because of everything that's come out about Bo Schembechler being the person he is.
Oh, the Michigan man stuff.
Yeah.
We've been over this the last number of years with that phrase. We don't even know what it means.
No one knows what it means. Apparently, it might mean that you're a scumbag that hides sexual assault.
Like lifelong Michigan fan, and I couldn't tell you what Michigan man means other than you went to Michigan.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I mean, Bo didn't go to Michigan.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that Michigan job has kind of lost some prestige, in my opinion, just because of what the athletic department's done with. We want Michigan men and only Michigan men. I don't think whenever that job is open again, I don't think that's the direction they take. What are we talking about with the Michigan man thing? It's something the University of Michigan Wolverines have used to describe certain coaches that have ties to the program somehow.
Okay, so what? I'm gonna try and boil this down because the best that I can, because like I said, I still don't entirely know what it means.
At the heart of the entire conversation, I got on a side tangent about the coaching carousel.
So, Michigan man is a phrase that is used for coaches and or players, I suppose. Probably more so coaches. Really not players a lot. That have ties to Bo Schembechler when he was there and the coaching tree that he left. So like Bo retired. Then it was Gary Moeller, and then it was Lloyd Carr. Then out of nowhere we went who were both Carr and Moeller were both assistants for Bo. And then from that there's the Rich Rod experience,
which was he was not a Michigan man.
He was not a Michigan man. We got away from that, and it didn't work. So that's when they went back to it, and they had Brady Hoke, who was an assistant for Carr, and Jim Harbaugh, who played for Bo. Like that's what it means. But I mean, all of the things that have come out now about Bo and the program
and hiding sexual assault, all of that good shit.
Back then, yeah, all that stuff. That was not public knowledge at the time. So I don't think that when that job is ever open again, I mean, like I said, there's none left. What are we gonna do? Like, since say Josh Gaddis is the OC for Jim Harbaugh, who is the quote unquote Michigan man, is Josh Gaddis now a Michigan man? Who the hell knows? Like,
right? Nobody knows.
The term makes no sense. I want it as far away from my program as possible. I never liked it. Now I really hate it.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of
it. But yeah, to wrap my point up about like the athletic department kind of killed some of the prestige with that job of we want Michigan men. Hopefully they get away from it, just because I think Michigan man will forever be tied to. Will now forever be tied with a lot of people. At least I could definitely say me. I'm sure you could say the same thing. Will be tied with all of the not great things Bo did while a head coach.
Yep, for sure. And that's that's why I say I never liked it because I always thought it was stupid. And now I can't stand it because now that's associated with the things that Bo covered up.
Yeah.
So I want nothing to do with Michigan men, whatever the fuck that is, ever again.
So it could be bleak for Harbaugh to get fired. Obviously, it's not going to happen anyway.
He's not good. In a year where this team was expected to be nothing, and he's what 9-1 now.
Right now, currently 9-1. Yep.
Currently 9-1. Maryland and Ohio State to go.
Yep.
He ain't getting fired. Not
and then move on to the slightly smaller scale. Virginia Tech firing Justin Fuente. Obviously, anyone looking at that Michigan would look to hire isn't going to look at someone that VT might want. Hard to say.
Not on that level.
Same thing, like Neil Brown at West Virginia. West Virginia is just not quite there anymore. They just aren't. However, and obviously, when Neil Brown gets fired, we'll talk about that because I personally think it's not too far down the road. This, and a lot of people criticize this when Scott Frost got that contract extension. Nebraska,
I hate that.
Nebraska, well, a lot of Nebraska fans were very unhappy with it.
Really?
Because a lot of Nebraska fans think that Scott Frost is not the one.
I don't know. I think he gets a lot out of the players that he has.
Yes.
I don't.
This is a but
last year you want to fire Scott Frost, sure, but they've been in a lot of games with top 10 teams right now. So this extension by Scott Frost is extension of Scott Frost by Nebraska is kind of genius because who are they going to find? Well, that's kind of the argument with firing Harbaugh as well. Like, who are you going to get that's better?
Yeah, with all of the jobs that are open, that are open or will be open, who are you going to find? Because there are rumors that
if James Franklin is a top candidate for USC, I mean,
Penn State opens up.
Bit of that.
Well, yeah, obviously. Penn State opens up. Luke Fickell could leave Cincinnati. I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it happens this year now.
Mario Cristobal, there are rumors of him leaving. Like,
where's he gonna go?
Well, that's the thing, is no one really knows. It's just that right now that Oregon Ducks team was kind of dead in the water for a little bit, and then he's good again. They're good again. I don't know. Moving on to the final bit of news. The Dolan family, owners of the Cleveland Baseball Club, mostly because, well, legal proceedings over the name Guardians, which is still an awful name. Legal proceedings with a roller derby team don't officially end until Friday, even though apparently both the roller derby team and the Cleveland Baseball team will both be named the Guardians. That does not does not end or take the proceedings there do not end officially and take effect until Friday. But the Cleveland Guardians, owner of the Cleveland Guardians, Paul Dolan, is willing to sell up to 40% of the team. A stake up to 40% of stake in the team.
Is the Dolan family the sole owner of the Indians?
Currently,
Baseball
yes.
Club, Guardians, whatever they
are. Currently, yes. The most recent owner that was not in the Dolan family was, one second, because the name forgets me. He owns the Royals now, or is one of the owners of the Royals now.
Patrick Mahomes?
No. What?
Patrick Mahomes is a part owner of the Royals. I was just being stupid.
No. John Sherman.
Okay.
John Sherman is the primary owner of the Royals.
So, in other words, the Dolan family and James Dolan, or Paul Dolan. Sorry, wrong Dolan. Wrong Dolan. Is willing to sell. I'm surprised he's not selling like 49.9%.
Right.
Like, just enough to keep that controlling stake. Like, what? How do you come up with a number of 40%?
Well, so
he still has the controlling stake then.
So John Sherman, who is originally from Kansas City, he was a part owner. He owned 30% of the Cleveland Indians up until 2019. He then went and bought the overwhelming majority of the Kansas City Royals. back in 2019. So for the past 2 years, they've just had this kind of 30% stake that the Dolans do own, but they were willing to sell.
So they just upped to 40.
Yeah, Paul Dolan decided to he wanted to spice the deal up and sell up an extra 10%.
Oh.
In other words, yes, he still has a controlling percentage of the ownership. The reason this makes news though is because after Sherman left and sold his share back to the Dolans, a lot of baseball fans in Cleveland thought that the Dolans were just going to own the team until the end of time.
I am sure that you would prefer that they don't.
I would be extremely happy if they don't. Let's move on to college football recap.
Alrighty.
Because I have a lot of things to say about the Dolans, but I'm not going to because they're terrible owners.
I mean, from the outside, I can't disagree with it.
They're horrible. James Dolan, Paul Dolan, both of them, of their respective teams. Fucking terrible.
People criticize Chris Ilitch for the last few years, owner of the Tigers and the Red Wings, of not wanting to spend money on the Tigers when they were like in a rebuilding state. Like
Paul Dolan's even worse.
Dolan family ain't spending money no matter what.
The Indians were one game away from winning the World Series in 2016, and they were contenders in 2017 and 2018. Made the playoffs, won the AL Central both years, and the Dolans just let's keep getting rid of players.
Like, how long is Jose Ramirez under contract?
1 more year, 1 or 2 more years, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah,
it's not looking good for Jose.
Nope.
Or maybe it is. It probably is looking good for Jose. He's like, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah, it's looking good for him and Franmil, but
goodness.
Moving on. Yep.
One last bit. And this isn't actually in the notes that I just want to mention.
Okay.
Detroit Tigers signed Eduardo Perez.
Oh, I thought you were going to say are not getting Justin Verlander.
Well, I was getting there. Yes, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. Nobody saw Verlander re-signing with the Astros. Literally nobody. A 1-year, $25 million deal. I'm going to assume that the Tigers just were not interested, would be my assumption. Like, they didn't want to bring him back, coming off the Tommy John, being out for as long as he has been. I mean, you always get him next year if he goes out and balls out, but...
So I don't know why, because worst case scenario, put him in the bullpen and you actually have a bullpen pitcher.
Right, and bullpen has to be addressed for the Tigers as well, but no. Big... Sorry, did I say Eduardo Perez?
Yes.
I went to Eduardo Ramirez. Christ.
It took me a minute. I don't
want Eduardo Perez, please. Eduardo... Or not Ramirez either. Rodriguez. Christ. I'm a terrible fan. But, yeah, no, it's just... It's a nice little warning shot to the rest of baseball that the Tigers are looking to spend some money. Carlos Correa might very well be coming to Detroit. He apparently changed his an emoji in his Twitter profile. There was a little tiger there for a couple seconds, and then he got rid of it. I don't know.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I'm the same way. Like I don't care if we get Correa. Correa is obviously the big one that I would want. But whether it's Correa or Corey Seager or Marcus Semien or even Trevor Story would be an upgrade for what we have at shortstop. So Correa is the goal, but hey, I'd take probably any one of those 4 guys.
Okay.
Now we can move on to the NCAA recap.
Moving on to the college football recap from week 11? 12?
Something like that.
Like that? What does it say on our... It'd be week 11. 11.
11?
Yeah, 11. Wow, I can't... Word.
Words are hard, man. I just called Eduardo. Damn it! I couldn't believe it. Eduardo Perez.
Say, what? Like, it took my brain a second to register it. Moving on though, the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs played Tennessee. Georgia's defense is good. Final score is 41-17.
Not enough football points for the Tennessee Vols.
The Tennessee Volunteers were supposed to be that Tennessee offense was supposed to be Georgia's first real test, and well, it didn't provide much of a test.
No.
Moving on, the Alabama Crimson Tide scored many football points, 59 to be exact. New Mexico State scored 3. Alabama scored. Go ahead.
As you have listed here, Alabama 59 football points. New Mexico State the opposite of that with 3.
Yeah. Alabama scored 49 in the first half. So, a win for New Mexico State that they only held Alabama's 5th string players and the cheerleaders to 10?
It was always Alabama, right? They were minus 51 and a half. Like,
it was always Alabama.
You knew, and they even called off the dogs as well. They still covered. Like, holy hell.
Fuck. The Oregon Ducks, number 3 Oregon Ducks, played Washington State in a game that was a shit show, but it was actually kind of decent for the majority of it. Oregon won 38-24.
Final score does not indicate how close this game, I think. This was a game for the majority of it, and the fourth quarter happened.
Moving on, number 4 Ohio State took on a team that some have called the Spoilermakers this year. Well,
not so much.
Purdue. It wasn't a true Purdue because they were a 19.5-point dog.
That's what I'm saying. It's not I maintain that this is not a Purdue.
It kind of is a Purdue because their defense couldn't have stopped their defense couldn't have fought their way out of a wet paper bag.
I mean, Ohio State just perpetually scores 59 points. I swear, like every final score.
Almost every one you just see 59, 59, 59.
57,
yeah.
59. Like, it's every fucking week. Nuclear buzzsaw.
I don't have a lot to say about this game, actually. I will talk a little bit.
Purdue tried to backdoor cover a couple times.
Purdue did try to backdoor cover a couple times. Anytime they got into range of covering the spread. First off, it was this game was all Ohio State.
Yeah, Purdue never really had anything.
Purdue, the only time this game was close, and I tweeted it, I was like, oh boy, looks like we're going to have a fist fight with Purdue. This could get ugly. Ohio State went down after Purdue had a 7-yard punt. Ohio State went down and scored in 3 plays.
What a sentence that is.
4 plays, I think. 3 or 4 plays.
7-yard punt,
man.
Very impressive.
Purdue, on the ensuing offensive drive, went down, scored a touchdown. It's like, oh boy, we could have ourselves a fist fight here. Well,
and then that was the last chance Purdue had.
Ohio State on their second drive scored a touchdown. Purdue was marching, and then they tried the same triple reverse screen that they ran against Michigan State, that worked against Michigan State, got them 50 yards and a touchdown. They even brought their second string, their athlete quarterback in. They pulled a Jim Harbaugh and decided to throw a wrinkle in and play J.J. McCarthy. Except, well, Purdue's quarterback wasn't J.J. McCarthy. It was some dude who I don't even know what his name was.
I know they have Aiden O'Connell. Was it Jack Plummer?
Maybe. I don't know.
That's the only other Purdue quarterback I know.
I honestly don't remember. But
he started a couple games this year.
They fumbled that on the mesh and it was picked up by Dron Cage. Ohio State scored again. The very ensuing Ohio State kickoff. One of their return men botched the fair catch, did not call a legal fair catch. And by legal, I mean he didn't even get his hand above his helmet. His hand was at shoulder height, and he was just waving it frantically.
That's not a call you hear very often.
Yeah, he let the ball bounce. He tried to pick it up, and in the process of picking it up off the bounce, was absolutely slaughtered, fumbled it, recovered by Ohio State. Ohio State scored. This game just got out hand quick. It got ugly so quick that I walked away for a few minutes. I left to go get dinner. Like,
I mean, you didn't miss much. I had this game on in its entirety.
oh, I did too, because I went to the brewery here in town, and they had it on.
Of course.
It's just like I was sitting here watching. I was like, "This is ugly." Like Ohio State's pass defense still is not elite. Their defense as a whole is. Purdue's rushing game was non-existent again.
They don't have one. They really haven't.
They still haven't.
The only reason they beat MSU is just because they are a pass-heavy team. Purdue is, and MSU has one of the worst secondaries in the Big Ten.
No, they have the statistical worst.
Oh, even better.
They have not just in the Big Ten; they have the worst in the country.
It's
I talked about that earlier.
Christ. I mean, I really thought that we were seeing like the emergence of Cade McNamara in the Michigan MSU game. No, he was just aided by literally the worst secondary that you could possibly have.
I don't have much else to say about this game. Ohio State's defense performed when they needed to. In that first half, when it was go, beat the fuck out of them, they did. In the second half, it wasn't great. Aiden O'Connell, if I remember correctly, threw for a decent bit of yards.
He probably did.
Let me pull up the stats real quick.
They had to throw the ball to even have a shot in the game.
Yeah. Like I said, it was... Aiden O'Connell threw for 390, 4 touchdowns. He threw the ball 54 times. C.J. Stroud, on the other hand, threw 38 times, threw for 361.
Less than what O'Connell threw against MSU, I do believe.
Yeah, well, significantly less. About 210 yards less.
I was going to say, didn't he throw for about damn near 500?
He threw for almost 600.
Jesus Christ.
C.J. Stroud threw 38 passes, 361 yards. The biggest thing with Purdue is they don't throw the ball very far downfield. Aiden O'Connell's average completion was 5.5, 6 yards. Like, they don't throw the ball downfield a lot. David Bell had 11 catches for 100 yards, but
stud.
That's
a stud.
He's elite, but he didn't really get a lot going. Why am I getting an advertisement? Let's mute that before anything bad happens. The biggest thing, Ohio State ran the ball.
Yeah, they discovered they had that dude back there named Travion Henderson.
Yeah, and Mayan Williams.
Unfortunately, no Master Teague, I don't believe.
No. How much do you have to donate for Jordan to do a face reveal? Well, he needs to get a real webcam and real internet again.
Face reveal? My face is right there.
That's
my real face.
That's really all I got about
I have okay. The disclaimer once again. I have a real webcam, but for whatever reason, my computer will not. When I plug it in, and my computer has no idea what it is. It's like it's problematic.
My
face is right there. That is my real face. Austin can confirm that.
That is his real face.
Just with some sunglasses on.
We could get into conversations about why you don't have a working real computer anymore, but we will save that for a different time.
Oh God.
Moving on.
Thanks, Hobag.
And just like that, our podcast is about to get taken down of everything. Oh well. No, probably not. Moving on. Number 5, Cincinnati played South Florida in a Friday night game that I didn't watch. Well, I watched half of it because, well...
You watched this game?
It was the only thing on TV until we did the podcast, or until we did Backdoor Cover. And then, well, when we were doing Backdoor Cover, I was watching USA Mexico anyway.
You could have... This game is on Friday. You could have watched SmackDown.
This game started before SmackDown. 2 hours before SmackDown. This game started at 6.
You could have watched... What else is on Friday? I don't know.
Cincinnati beat South Florida 45-28. Bearcats never had like full control. In fact, South Florida did cover. Not much to say about it though.
How do you allow 28 points and you want to be a fucking playoff contender? Like, come on.
A game that I will let Jordan talk about.
Oh boy.
Number 6, Michigan played Penn State. 21-17.
Penn State.
I've said all I need to say about this. Earlier today when I did did my college football top 10, Michigan did not win this game. Penn State lost it because James Franklin's a fucking moron. Michigan should have lost if they were playing a real coach. If Penn State had a real coach and a quarterback who throws and they call a real play on fourth down there, because Jim Harbaugh's a fucking moron, Michigan loses this game. But James Franklin's a bigger idiot.
You know what they say.
Jordan, go ahead and take this. The stripe out was also the stripe game for Penn State's crowd was also a dud. Apparently, it did not look great.
It did not look good at all. Apparently either people didn't know about it or what.
How do you not know about it? It was in the news the whole week leading up.
Maybe they didn't care. I don't know.
Fair enough.
But it literally didn't look like half the people that were supposed to be wearing white were wearing white. That's why I'm so glad this game happened at noon. Like, Penn State whiteout, tough place to be. To your point about Michigan not winning the game, Penn State losing it, to that I say, a win is a win is a win is a win.
That's fair. That is fair.
We indeed did. We won the game. It counted on our record.
You scored more points than them.
We scored more football points. Yes, we did.
There we go. We'll go with that. You scored more points than them.
So.
But I'm going to quote you on it. You didn't beat them. You just scored more points than them.
Yep.
There we go.
Exactly. Yeah, this was a tough watch. Kind of a defensive slugfest, but also an idiocy slugfest. Like, I don't really know what was going on. I actually, when Penn State took a 17-14 lead, I passed out for about 5 minutes. I went and took a little 5-minute power nap before eventually taking a long power nap after this game. This was interesting, and when Penn State scored after Cade McNamara fumbled, which is not something he does very often, if ever, it might be his first career fumble. I don't know. That was very, very interesting to see. Very disheartening. I was like, well, there it is. Like, this is MSU all over again. But they did a thing. I mean, that's the play where we scored the go-ahead touchdown should not result in a touchdown. That is Penn State being absolute morons.
I'm going to say two things about that play.
Okay, hold on. There is no way a short 5-yard crossing route should result in a touchdown to a tight end.
A 50-yard touchdown.
What was it, 80, 70-some yards? I don't know what it was.
I thought it was like 50-some.
50, 60 something.
Big,
I don't know.
Long.
But, like, just a crossing route. And then Eric All goes over to the sideline, and he just outruns everybody. Like, I don't know if that's James Franklin calling. I don't. He's probably not calling defensive plays, but I don't know if that's just a bad play call, bad execution. I don't know what that is. You can't let that happen if you're Penn State. I don't know how it did. I have zero clue. I'm happy it did.
47 yards.
That sounds. Yep. Okay.
That's how long it was.
Regardless, should not. If you're Penn State, can't happen.
No.
Like, cannot happen.
That's bad.
Game was a bit of a rough watch. Not a whole lot of good things to take away from this game.
Zach Sean Clifford 7 times. That's it.
Well, yes, but that, I mean, that's just come to be expected at this point. I mean, Hutchinson's a fucking top 10 pick. David Ajabo's having a breakout season. The defensive lineman or the defensive end pairing of Ajabo and Hutchinson is absolutely incredible to watch, and I'm sure you can even appreciate that too.
They're solid.
Because you love defense.
They're solid.
But, yep. And it's not like it's just because Penn State isn't all that good. I mean, they've been doing this all year. Ajabo even more so in recent weeks. Like he's really come out and balled out. It's been phenomenal. But yeah, it's just a Big Ten game. It seems like with some idiocy at the end. Like defense, tough game, tough environment. I go back to what Cade McNamara had said after the Nebraska game, and that environment, at night, Nebraska, crowd's electric. Past Michigan teams don't win that game. Like they really
I will
don't.
agree with that.
They don't find a way to win. So I mean, is this team drastically different than what they were before? Maybe not. I mean, obviously MSU happened, but I think they're better, and improvement under Harbaugh is something we haven't really seen. So the fact that this team is better, I don't know what it's going to mean in the long term. It's hard to say. I mean, we got the Ohio State game coming up next week. Maryland, who we should beat, but who the hell knows?
So I said this earlier today also. Are you mostly done?
I'd say I covered everything, yeah.
Okay, I didn't want to steal your spot here. I said, so I got two things I want to say on that final touchdown. One on Michigan as a whole, and, two on Michigan as a whole.
That's right, the pick route.
Yes, we'll talk about that in a second. Michigan as a whole, two things. 11 Warriors, who I talk about every once in a while on this podcast, is a Ohio State blog.
Yes.
Covers pretty much everything Ohio State. Mostly Ohio State football, but they do get into basketball and some wrestling and hockey.
Are we going threat level?
Yes. Every week they have a spot about Michigan football called Threat Level, assessing whether or not Michigan could beat Ohio State and how likely it is to happen. The person who 11 Warriors has dedicated to watching Michigan games every week doesn't even know what Michigan is. Like, he even says
it's hard to know.
He even said in this week's blog, he's like, I don't know if Michigan's good. I don't know. He knows. He knows that their defensive ends are good.
Either.
He knows that their defensive ends are good. That's it. That's all he knows.
He won't be able to gather anything from watching this game this weekend either.
Like,
unless they lose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it's a wild scenario.
So I said, and now to what I said earlier on my top 10 show, or top 10 short earlier today. I would not be I don't want to say I would not be shocked if Michigan loses, because it would be a shock if they lose to Maryland. Like, but it's something that's not entirely out of the realm of possibility with this Michigan football team, in my opinion.
I don't see it that way, obviously. But
because
I think they can give us a game for maybe half.
This Michigan team at times just tends to go out and lay eggs.
Sometimes, and
against just random opponents.
I wouldn't even say the Penn State game was laying an egg. It really wasn't good for any team. It's just Big Ten football. It seemed, kind of low scoring, defensive, and that's something I will say. Like, I mean, we only scored 21 points. First off, by the way, I said hail to the field goals last week. We didn't kick a single field goal. We scored 3 touchdowns.
Which is honestly a big surprise.
Maybe some improvement, or maybe Penn State's just weird. I don't know. But it's, I don't know. To the point where you don't know if Michigan's good. I don't know if Michigan's good. We'll find out. We'll find out in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's pretty much how it is. Like, if they can beat Ohio State. I mean, for one, so you guys need to take care of business and beat MSU.
Well, yeah,
like, that's the thing. That's the thing that has to happen. Set up and Michigan needs to beat Maryland. Set up that chance for the title.
Yeah, a meaningful game
for whoever. You're right. Like, and even to be in that spot for Michigan where the game means something, like it's for something. Somewhere we're not in that spot too often.
Right.
So just for that game to mean something, I hope you guys take care of business, and we got to take care of business. Just set it up.
Now on to the touchdown.
And I want to hear you have some jokes about Tuck coming and things like that.
On to the touchdown. I still hate it because pick routes were ran. Like,
yeah,
I don't like it.
And I mean, like, yes, it resulted in a touchdown, so it gets a little bit more attention. But I mean, Penn State and Michigan, for that matter, doing it the whole damn game. Big Ten ain't calling it.
Yeah, from the looks, I mean, Big Ten doesn't call pass interference anyway. Like,
no, I don't know if there was a pass interference call in this game.
So that is what it is. But if you're Penn State, how the fuck do you let that happen? Like, come on.
I mean, I know Eric Hall's a freak, and he's pretty athletic, pretty fast, but you can't allow a tight end on a 5-yard cross
to run
score a touchdown.
48 yards for a touchdown. And like, I guess that final play Penn State ran, what the fuck are you doing there? What? Why?
James Franklin.
James Franklin's an idiot. That's all I got on that. Moving on. Number 7 Michigan State played the Maryland Terrapins. Michigan State never had like 100% control of this game, but they took care of business 40-21. Michigan State's pass defense is just bad.
Same sort of thing with Oregon. Fourth quarter they kind of pulled away and made it look as if it was a bigger win than it really was. Maryland was in this for a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say on any of these other games because most of them were ass. I'm gonna go get some water. So if you just want to run through these in the top 25,
I'm just gonna run scores real quick. Number 8, Oklahoma.
I'll be back before you're done with the top 25.
Okay. Number 8, Oklahoma played number 13 Baylor. Baylor won 27-14. Oklahoma is dead. They're probably not gonna win. Yeah, they'll win this week against whoever the fuck they play. They're not gonna beat Oklahoma State. Number 9, Notre Dame beat Virginia 28-3. Number 10, Oklahoma State beat TCU 63-17. Number 11, Texas A&M kind of laid an egg. This game was close, and then Texas A&M's quarterback threw a couple of interceptions in their side of the 20. Ole Miss won. Number 15, Ole Miss won 29-19. This game kind of happened. Number 12, Wake Forest beat number 16, North Carolina State 45-42. BYU had a bye, I guess, or at least I didn't put anything there. Let's go check to see. Yeah, they had a bye. Okay. Good. Number 17, Auburn lost to Mississippi State 43-34. Auburn's just weird. Number 18, Wisconsin is still rolling. Beat Northwestern 35-7.
They have an offense again.
Yes, they do. Number 20, Iowa beat number 22, Minnesota in a game that I caught me off guard a bit because I thought Minnesota was going to win this game. Iowa won 27-22.
I did too. I believed in Minnesota, especially with the backup in no Spencer Petras for Iowa. I thought it was Minnesota. It was not Minnesota.
Nope, they covered, but that's about it.
They did. 6.5, I believe, was the spread. So hey,
yeah,
I'll take it.
Number 30, Pitt needed overtime to take down North Carolina, but it was 30-23 when it was all said and done. Number 23, UTSA beat Southern Mississippi 27-17. Number 24, Utah beat Arizona 38-29. And rounding out your top 25, Arkansas beat LSU 16-13 in overtime. Let's get your current top 25. Once I pull it up, I did not have it pulled up. Okay.
Fail podcast.
Yep.
We suck.
Yes, we do. Number 25, Mississippi State, after beating Auburn. Number 24, Houston. Number 23, Utah. Number 22, UTSA. 21, Arkansas. 20, North Carolina State. San Diego State is at 19. Pittsburgh is at 8. Iowa 17. Texas A&M is at 16. Wisconsin is at 15. BYU 14. Oklahoma, the second biggest drop of the week, is at 13. Ole Miss is at 12. Baylor at 11. Wake Forest at 10. Oklahoma State at 9. Notre Dame at 8. Michigan State 7. Michigan 6. Cincinnati 5. Ohio State 4. Oregon 3. Alabama 2. Georgia number 1. There you go. Let us move on to the NFL recap.
This fucking first game. I don't even.
This first game happened.
Say? What?
I did not watch this game.
I watched part of it, and I watched Baltimore Ravens just suck, flat out suck against the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins won 22-10.
What? How? They started Jacoby Brissett. He got hurt. They brought in Tua, who was apparently healthy but got benched. Like, what is it? What was this?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know.
I had a single game parlay on this game, and it tanked miserably.
I'm glad I stayed away from this game.
I say it all the time. I like them SGPs on them primetime games, so I threw it on there. No controversies from the Mannings this week.
Yeah.
I say controversies very lightly. Like, it's always so hilarious when something happens on their show.
This is NFL. There's no rankings. Wow. Brain just kind of quit for a second there.
Maybe there should be.
Atlanta scored 3 points against Dallas. Dallas beat them by 40. Final score 43-3.
Big win for Dan Quinn, former Atlanta head coach, now defensive coordinator over there for Dallas.
Yeah,
so that's gotta feel good for him. I didn't think they should have let him go anyway. I mean, that team just wasn't there for him.
Yeah.
So good for Dan Quinn. Good for Dallas. They rebounded from that nonsense that was the Denver game.
Yeah.
Dallas looked like Dallas again.
Yes, they did. New Orleans lost to Tennessee 23-21.
That'll happen.
Tennessee's they're rolling right now.
Tennessee's pretty good. Even without Derrick Henry, they're still rolling along.
Jacksonville kept it respectable against Indianapolis. Indianapolis 23-17.
Quick note, and I was going to throw this in stupid people saying stupid things, but I couldn't find the exact tweet. Somebody doesn't believe Jonathan Taylor's good.
Moving on.
That's the reaction I expected.
In a game that I don't know how many people saw this coming. Honestly, if you did say you saw this coming, I think you might be a liar. The Cleveland Browns made Mac Jones look like an all-world player. All-world quarterback. The Cleveland Browns took a quick 7-0 lead, and, they lost 45-7.
This is my lock of the week. I had Cleveland. I actually went alternate spread. They were dogs in this game.
Yep.
I went alternate spread -2.5 for Cleveland and a Dearness Johnson anytime touchdown. Huh?
I don't think either of those hit.
I don't know. I only checked the score. I don't know if I don't know if Dearness Johnson scored or not.
Yeah.
Keep rolling through this. This game hurt. I'm gonna find out if Dearness Johnson scored.
In a game everyone saw coming, the Buffalo Bills beat the New York Jets 45-17.
That was always gonna happen.
It was always the Bills.
It was always the Bills. They're a tough team to understand.
But the New York Jets are an easy team to understand.
Very much so.
SUCK.
Touchdown went to Austin Hooper, so neither of those legs hit. Dearness
Ouch.
Johnson did rush for 99 yards on 19 carries, average of 5.2 per carry, though. Sounds like Baker was holding him back.
Yeah. We have our first tie of the NFL season.
I don't.
The Detroit Football Lions played the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Lions scored 16. Pittsburgh scored, obviously, 16.
What the fuck?
It obviously went to overtime.
What the fuck?
This was a game I fell asleep for. I missed the second quarter, the third quarter, and the fourth quarter. I watched the full first quarter, and I watched the full overtime period. This was a game nobody wanted to win.
Literally.
Ryan
Detroit
Santoso. I'm gonna say this about Ryan Santoso real quick. He has not kicked a football so long that Fox pulled up his college stats from 2015.
No, he was in a game earlier this season for the Lions. Austin Seibert, our regular kicker, got placed on the COVID list.
Again, Fox pulled up his college stats from 2015. At one point.
Where do I start? What do I say?
Massive ass?
Confirmed. And that's the strongest confirmed you'll ever hear. The Lions had a 6-point lead.
Aren't going to go 0-17.
I guess that's the one positive, but 0-16-1 is still a possibility because this game was winnable and you didn't do it. Now, I will say Ryan Santoso has been cut from the practice squad because again, he is not our regular kicker. He has been cut.
Oh, cutthroat business.
And signed 2 other kickers to the practice squad.
Oh, could have been the hero.
That doesn't happen again.
And then he wasn't the hero.
That's one of the worst. A game-winning field goal attempt. That is one of the worst field goal attempts I've ever seen by an NFL kicker.
That kick never had a chance.
I guarantee you that I could have done equally as good. AKA equally as bad. What in the hell was that?
Like, that kick never had a chance. I don't even think it made it the full distance.
No!
And it was like a 38-yard kick. I think that kick was under 40.
It was. I don't know what the fuck.
And it didn't even make it. It didn't get deflected.
No, it sure didn't. It was just a low duck that didn't even make it to the crossbar. That bounced in the end zone.
Like,
Good
yeah.
God. Other notes from this game, because I could talk about how piss poor Ryan Santoso is all day long. Positives from this game. The run game. Very good. Big day for DeAndre Swift. Dan Campbell took over play calling duties from offensive coordinator Anthony Lynn. And he knows, Campbell knows Goff ain't it. He won't say it, but he knows it. His play calling told all the entire story. Just the way it is. And yet Goff, in his opportunities, still sucked. What did we expect? Jared Goff is Jared Goff. Like, I'm to the point that I would take Matt Corral number 1 overall. He can't be any worse.
I was saying, I'm telling you, like,
we'll just have the league's most expensive backup in Jared Goff because we can't get rid of him. Do we need a quarterback in a worse way? And Corral seems like the best option. Unfortunately, I don't think Bryce Young is eligible. He's not eligible till next year.
Right.
But then maybe we wait, tank next year, get Bryce Young, and sign Fitzmagic for a year. I don't care. Like, oh god, Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Jared Goff. Goff is terrible. Defense was solid. But the end of that game, Lions had 2 different chances to win this game. Steelers had 1. They were in position to kick a game-winning field goal. And with Boswell kicking it, it would have been good. But with 9 seconds to go, the Steelers fumble. And the Lions draw up one of the worst final plays I've ever seen.
Oh my god, that was so dumb.
I don't know. This game hurt.
All I'm gonna say to Mike Tomlin, and I've said this several times, why are you not running Najee Harris? Why?
Najee Harris, you got. For both of us, I don't think there's any doubt he's one of the top 5 running backs in the league. I think you put him at number 3?
Yeah.
Behind Derrick Henry and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ. Mike Tomlin, I don't know. I like Mike Tomlin a lot, but he did not do himself any favors in this game. This is a game you have to win, though, if you're the Lions. No Big Ben. Like, if Big Ben's there, I know he's at the very final games of his career, but, like, he's better than Mason Rudolph. Get it done, and they didn't get it done. Oh, I hate being a fan of this team. Why is this the life that I chose?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Ryan Santoso ain't ever going to get another job in the NFL again. Like, that guy, I guarantee you, I've kicked a ball better than that in my life. And I never even played football. That's all I got.
Okay, moving on to another game that I'm guessing a lot of people didn't expect happening. The Washington football team beat Tampa Bay 29-19. Tom Brady did not look good. That's all I got.
Now, I was as a noted Tom Brady fan. No, Brady did not have a good game. One of the worst games we've seen Brady play in quite some time. Really not sure how that happened. Like, Washington's not good. Got to be some worry with Tampa. Taylor Heineke had a game.
Taylor Heineke had a game that that Tampa Bay defense did not have a game.
I mean, and big loss for the WFT, Chase Young.
Yeah.
Out. But, I mean, it goes to show what kind of guy Chase Young is. Like, dude has a season-ending injury. He was back on that sideline in street clothes faster than anybody I've ever seen after somebody tear their ACL.
Football is it's what he does. He is football.
Hey, Chase Young is football.
He's a dude.
With that sentiment.
He's a dude.
Is there a level above, dude? Yeah, there is. It's the Turbo Yoda.
Yeah.
He's about as close as Turbo Yoda, or to Turbo Yoda than anyone in the league.
Yeah.
Like that Chase Young's phenomenal. By the way, real quick note, that Reddit post that I shared about someone saying we should be glad that EA blocked the name The Turbo Yoda. Let me
Reddit is stupid.
Let me really quickly read my reply because there's notes for this. I told this man, do not disrespect the Turbo Yoda. He'll find a way to body check you into oblivion on Reddit. Trust me, I'm his teammate, and he's gotten me a time or two.
Oh, that's cold.
That His comment somehow got 24 upvotes. Really unsure as to how that happened. And my reply just keeps getting downvoted. I don't know why. Fucking Reddit is a weird place. But move on.
Reddit doesn't like fun.
Reddit
Carolina.
doesn't like. I mean, that sounds like a guy that's been victimized by the Yodes a couple times. Just throwing that out there.
Moving on.
Sounds like one of them 20 plus hit games that the Turbo Yodas had in our EASHL experiences. Sounds like a few of those were on him.
Yeah.
But yes, moving up.
Carolina. He's back. The Carolina Panthers, mostly led by Cam Newton, won 34-10 over Arizona.
They weren't even really led by Cam Newton. Yes, he scored 2 touchdowns, but they only put him in. I mean, he was 4 of 6 on the day. Like, he was not in the game primarily, but
oh no,
he was. He wasn't. He will be next week. Will be this weekend. I'm rooting for Cam Newton.
Yeah.
That's something I never thought I'd say. Like, I mean, this return to Carolina, it's just storybook stuff. Really cool. People trying to hate on him being on the sideline after scoring that touchdown, saying, "I'm back," in the squeakiest voice imaginable. Have some fun in your life, please. Like, I'm not the biggest Cam.
The internet's not allowed to have fun anymore.
I'm not
Internet
the
hates
biggest
fun.
Cam Newton fan. Not the biggest Cam Newton fan, but I'm happy for the guy.
Yeah.
Like, and now he gets to face off against Ron Rivera in the WFT this weekend, former head coach.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's notable.
We'll talk about that game in a couple minutes.
Good stuff for Cam.
Moving on. Also, Arizona. This could be an interesting week for them. Possibly no Kyler Murray and possibly no Colt McCoy. It's hard to say.
Is DeAndre Hopkins back?
No.
Arizona.
100.
How quickly?
Hopkins 100% out.
How quickly things have gone wrong for Arizona.
Yeah.
Christ.
Moving on, though. The Minnesota Vikings, led by Captain Kirk Cousins, beat the LA Chargers 27-20. The Chargers are kind of hitting a rough patch. That's all I got. Continuing on, though.
Man, that's rough. I like the Chargers, damn it.
I mean, maybe if they played real home games.
Valid point.
Moving on, the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts has appeared to move on from his deuce finally. What could be one of the worst quotes of the year?
Take you a deuce. You don't stare at it. You move on. You flush it and move on.
What could be one of the worst quotes of the year?
Cannot get over the grammatical something of "you take you a deuce."
Anyhow, Jalen Hurts appears to be moving on. He led the Philadelphia Eagles to a 30-13 win over Denver. Yeah.
I had Denver. I believed in them. I have zero idea what that Dallas game was. I have no idea how that happened, but it did. I was on Denver. We should have known better.
It was never Denver, apparently.
Denver cannot be trusted.
Seattle had Russell Wilson back.
This game was a dud.
Didn't matter. Green Bay had Aaron Rodgers back. It wasn't good either. 17-0. This game kind of sucked.
This game was a dud. Like, I think Russ can't come back and be healthy and look like that. I think he probably came back a little bit too soon. Would be my assumption. That's where it is for me. Big loss to the fantasy team, I do believe. Aaron Jones suffered an injury in this game. I'm going into my fantasy team right now to see what's going on with him. Currently listed as doubtful.
Yeah, apparently he's only going to be down for a couple weeks with a MCL sprain. A few weeks with a... Yeah.
Maybe the fantasy team has life. I don't know.
But it's hard to say.
They don't need him.
This just in, Central Michigan won.
Hey, let's go. 2-point dogs. We'll get to those in the picks. But Green Bay doesn't need him. Even when you think that they do need him, they don't need him. Like, they started Jordan Love, and you thought, oh, this is an Aaron Jones game. Like, let this dude go. And what do you know? Didn't do shit. Green Bay makes no sense. Thanks, Matt LaFleur.
Moving on to a game that makes a lot of sense. Kansas City scored 41 against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Kansas City looked like Kansas City again.
Yeah.
The first time really all year.
I have the Northern Illinois game on because I have money on this game.
What's going on there?
27-27, 40 seconds to go.
Oh, God. That's scary because that spread was not big.
No. Finally, the Monday night game happened. It happened. Yikes. It was a football game.
Yikes, LA. Yikes.
The LA Rams struggled. They did not look good.
People will hate on Stafford because he had 2 interceptions in this game. One was completely, and I know the Stat Padford Lions fans are just enjoying the fact that he threw 2 picks. One of them was in his receiver's hands, and he handed it to the defensive back.
Yeah, that did happen.
Like, what the hell?
Like, the big thing...
Tyler Higbee. Like, Christ.
Big thing, like, where was that LA defense today? It was bad.
Oh, fucking
Or not today, on Monday.
Like, you got a defense of Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, and you just get bullied?
Yeah, they got bullied.
I don't know.
We have a 30-ish yard kick to decide the game.
No.
Final score 38 is the kicker was iced. Final score was 31-10. That is your NFL recap. Let's move on to the picks.
Got the college picks open. You ready to go?
Mostly. I am 83 and 82. Jordan's 82 and 83.
Back-to-back fucking solid weeks for me in the picks. Let's go.
Yeah.
10 win weeks the last 2 weeks. Hell yeah. Great stuff.
Let's
Thanks for blowing it, Clemson. We move into the picks.
I am going to go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No,
I'm just keeping an eye on this game. 2 seconds left. I'm watching the kick here when they line up. Just again because I have money on this game. I had Northern Illinois money line.
Who is lining up to take the kick?
Northern Illinois.
Ass.
Kick is up. Oh my.
Did he miss it? Oh no.
He did.
Let's go!
Going into overtime. Are you fucking kidding me? How do you miss that? Ryan Santoso.
Let's fucking go. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. All right. So, with that being said, Wednesday night Maction. Game is final. Central Michigan on the road. They were taking on Ball State. Central Michigan getting 2. Who did you took Central in this game, I would assume?
Yes.
They win by 20. I had Central Michigan +2 as well.
I did.
So 1-0 on the season. This game that we were currently talking about, Northern Illinois -1.5 on the road against Buffalo. If you couldn't tell by my reaction, one of the rare times I'll say my pick first, I have Buffalo +1.5.
I had Northern Illinois.
And watch this game go into the silly 2-point conversion stuff, and Northern Illinois win by 2, just to fucking spite me. just to fucking spite me, and Northern Illinois covers. You pick Northern Illinois in the picks as well?
Yes.
TBD on the result there. We move on to Saturday's action from the ASS Conference, the ACC. Florida State on the road. A lot of tiny spreads here early on. Getting 2 against 6-4 Boston College. By the way, no people can be involved in these first 3 games. It says 0% for me all across the board in these first 3 games.
Yeah. Boston College has helped me out a couple times this year, and well, there is the fact that Florida State's ass. So, 2 points. I'm going, what the hell, ESPN? I am going Boston College.
I am going Boston College as well. Florida State, I mean, you summed it up. Their ass. No other way around it. A game you will no doubt be watching. Number 7, 9-1 on the season, Michigan State. They travel to the Horseshoe in Columbus for a big matchup. Both teams 9-1. Michigan State getting 19.5. That is a massive spread for 2 top 10 teams. But that just goes to show you the buzzsaw that is Ohio State. We have people. 80% of the people are on MSU. I'd ask you who you got, but I have a feeling I already know.
I mean, who am I going to pick here, really?
Fair.
First off, I'm going to say a few things. Michigan State has the worst pass defense in the country. Just flat out worst pass defense in the country. Ohio State doesn't have just the best pass offense. They have the best offense in the country. I think I'm going Ohio State here just because I am.
Perpetually 59 points.
But I think if Michigan State wants to even keep this game close, they're going to have to score 50 plus, and I don't know if they can.
I don't know if they can either. I am going to. I know this is wrong. I know it's wrong, but I have to do it. 2 top 10 teams that are giving me 19.5. I have to take MSU. They aren't going to win the game, but that's a big spread. I mean, that's a spread. That's the spread they had against Purdue.
And Ohio State covered.
Like, I know MSU lost to Purdue, whatnot. I gotta take MSU. I don't want to do it. And Ohio State better take care of business to set up next week's game, because that's going to be one hell of a podcast. Root for podcast. Let's go. Ohio State this weekend, but I will be taking MSU and the points for this one.
Fair.
Big Ten action, no people involved. 5-5, stupid Rutgers. They're on the road, traveling to Happy Valley to take on Penn State. Rutgers is given 17.5. How do these teams even have remotely similar records? I don't know. Who you got here?
Oh, boy. I don't think Rutgers is going to win this game.
Nope.
But I'm going to take stupid Rutgers just because I think Penn State's kind of quit on James Franklin. So I think this game is going to be close. Give me Rutgers.
Fair point. Can't believe I'm doing this again. I was off the stupid Rutgers bandwagon after like week 6. I'm back on it. Give me stupid Rutgers plus 17.5. It's too many points. Penn State's offense isn't it. So too many points. Give me stupid Rutgers.
Fair.
A team that is indeed not back. That being Texas.
Lost to Kansas.
What a shit show that game was. I mean, there were shit shows all across college football. I mean, Texas and Kansas, Florida and Samford for a half. Like, outside the top 25. Wild weekend in college football. Stupid Texas. Sure, we'll go with that. Getting 2.5. Going to play the Mountaineers of West Virginia. We have people. 60% of the people are on West Virginia. Both teams 4-6 in the awful Big 12. Who do you got?
Some people say I'm a man of the people. And they're right in this case.
People? Who are those people, by the way?
I don't know.
Some people say it, though.
Some people say it. Don't know who those people are, but some say it. Give me West Virginia.
You're a man of the people.
There we go. Texas lost to Kansas. Texas lost to Kansas. That's it.
What am I supposed to fucking do? Exactly what you just said. They just lost to Kansas. Like, and they did everything in their power to lose to Kansas. Like, what am I supposed to do other than take West Virginia? Literally.
Like,
WVU, the Mountaineers, -2.5. Back to the Big Ten. Purdue, -12. On the road, they take on Pat Fitzgerald and the Northwestern Wildcats.
I love Pat Fitzgerald. Phenomenal coach, phenomenal leader of men.
Yes.
I'm going to say that every time Northwestern comes up in this podcast in any way.
Which will be, well, I mean, I guess this week and next week. I've been picking Big Ten games, all the Big Ten games, selecting these games for the picks. Because, let's be honest, I mean, we're both fans of Big Ten teams. Might as well throw all the Big Ten in here.
However, Purdue needs this game. Bad. In a bad way. So give me Purdue.
Kind of an awkward spread here. 12 is a very strange number. Not quite sure how Vegas got to that. I'm taking
it's
Purdue
an odd
as well.
number.
I'm taking Purdue as well. And an even number. We don't see many of those. When you see like an even number and it's fucking 12, like, what? Touchdown, field goal, safety? The hell?
3 field goals? 4 field goals, I mean?
Right, like, I don't know.
Ryan Santoso went to Purdue.
It explains a lot.
I was say, you're taking Northwestern now?
I would say I almost want to switch my pick to Northwestern, but I'm still taking Purdue.
Fair.
Can't do it with Northwestern. They're bad. Pat Fitzgerald is a great coach. This season is not an indictment on Pat Fitzgerald. Let's be honest, he ain't going anywhere, even though they've been down all year. Pat Fitzgerald's phenomenal. But I am taking Purdue -12. We got Big 12. Shitty ass fucking Big 12. Iowa State, they had big ambitions at the start of the year. They're 6-4. They are +4.5 heading to Oklahoma fresh off the L. Their first L of the year. Their long-awaited L. Like, they could have lost 5 games up until this point. But they didn't.
Yeah.
Oklahoma, number 13 in the country. 9-1. -4.5 against Iowa State. Who do you got?
You want to tell us what the people are going with here?
Oh, no. I don't believe this. I don't really know what's going on. It says 100% of the people are on Oklahoma.
Some people might say I'm a man of the people. I disagree with them in this case. Give me Iowa State. Oklahoma's bad.
Really? Not enough points for me to take Iowa State. I am going Oklahoma here. The people, that number cannot be right. There is no way that not a single person on CBS picks.
Other than me.
The people numbers have been really weird the last few weeks. I am taking Oklahoma. I can't. Iowa State has Brock Purdy. They don't have much else. So give me Oklahoma.
Fair.
And again, not enough points. This game I threw in here, I was going to tell you about it the other night, but you didn't want to know. Texas State, +22 on the road to take on the Chanticleers of Coastal Carolina. Who do you got?
Give me the Chanticleers. Without thought.
Anything to add?
Texas State's bad.
They are are 3-7 on the year. No people here. It's a 0-0%.
Probably because we're the only people picking this game.
Can't be. We cannot be. I'm gonna take.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Buffalo
no.
just fumbled it on
No.
the 2-yard line in overtime.
No.
Was it 100% recovered by Northern Illinois, though? Yes, it was. Northern Illinois still has to do football in their half of overtime.
Okay, so that's not the dub. They still need. I don't know if I trust the kicker. I'm hoping he misses. Give me Buffalo or give me death. What?
What? That doesn't work out well.
No.
Come on. Come on, Northern Illinois. Win me some money.
What
the defense doing things.
Did you just take him outright?
Outright. I took both of them in Central outright. Money line.
Okay. Back to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
The Illinois fighting the Illini, who makes 0 sense. They head to Kinnick Stadium to take on number 17, Iowa. Illinois is getting 12. Another 12. What the hell is going on, Vegas?
Vegas is giving us some weird numbers. Uh-oh. Well, that's the win for Northern Illinois. And first play of the overtime period is a touchdown for Northern Illinois. The running back just punted the ball 90 feet in the air.
Sign that man up as a punter.
Austin wins some money, but moving on. Who do we got? Illinois, Iowa, right?
Yes, sir.
This is a game. The Big Ten West is tight.
Sure is.
The Big Ten West is tight. This is a game.
Bad, but tight.
This is a game that Iowa needs.
Very much so.
I can close this so I don't have to see it anymore. All I know is I won some money.
You're right. Get this game off my screen.
It wasn't good. Illinois or Iowa needs this game. Give me the Iowa Hawkeyes. I shouldn't. I don't. Now that I'm 2-0, I have one I can play with.
Fair enough. Do I fucking take Illinois? I don't know what to do.
I sat here because, so for anybody, on my Twitch stream today, I'd made all these picks. And I sat here, looked at this, I was like, and I'm taking Iowa because this is a game they need.
Is a very appropriate phrase. I can't take Illinois. They'll probably fucking stoop us all and win. I don't know.
Right.
I'm taking Iowa. The Minnesota Golden Gophers. They are -6.5 as they travel to a dead Indiana program. Minnesota needs this game bad. 6.5, -6.5 are the Golden Gophers. Who you got?
Earlier today when I was making these picks, I Googled who the Indiana quarterback's going to be this week. Nobody knows. Nobody. They're traveling to the Great Concrete Block in the middle of nowhere.
Concrete Block in Bloomington.
In Bloomington. Also known as the middle of nowhere.
Fair.
Minnesota also needs this game to keep pace in the not great Big Ten West. Give me Minnesota. Indiana's dead in the water. Indiana's not even dead in the water. They're dead. Like, they didn't even make it out to the water this year.
They're
dead in the docks.
Vegas is not giving me enough points to take Indiana. Minnesota has been a little bit underwhelming the last 2 weeks, but I got to take Minnesota here. Indiana rather's dead. It is what it is. Now, this is one where the people make no sense because it says that nobody's picked this game.
Yeah, this one. Maybe it's just because it's Wednesday. That doesn't make sense because usually by now we have picks.
Number 6, Michigan. They are on the road. They take on the Maryland Turtles. Sorry, Terrapins. Maryland getting 15. What do you say?
So I said earlier, when we were talking about Michigan, this would be the kind of game that they would just somehow manage to lose.
It usually does happen this time of year under Harbaugh. Really under Brady Hoke or Rich Rod or anything.
This would be that just kind of random, weird, stupid game that they would lose. I would not be I would not be surprised if it happens. But I don't think it's going to. Give me Michigan.
Michigan minus the 15.
Yeah.
As I've said in the previous weeks with Michigan, hell am I going to do? What? Am I supposed to take Maryland here? No. I will take the Michigan Wolverines. Hail to hopefully no field goals. Nebraska, sticking with the Big Ten, getting 9.5 on the road, traveling to Camp Randall to take on Wisconsin in a game they also need bad. 3-7 versus 7-3. Big Ten nonsense. Who you got?
Nebraska's not good. Like, they're not. Like, they are not. I refuse to believe they are not, or that they are good.
I have seen it firsthand. I've watched more Nebraska than I would like to admit this season. I think they're good, and then they tank away wins.
But
they should have beat MSU. They probably should have beat Michigan. They were in it against Oklahoma. Like, fuck.
But I don't want to do this.
Oh no.
But I gotta take Nebraska here because
whoa.
Again, I don't think they're good. I think this is a game Wisconsin wins because they need it really bad.
Have too much.
But yeah, I don't think Nebraska's gonna win. I think they're gonna lose by 9 points.
9 specifically. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, I really didn't expect you to take Nebraska. I am. I'm literally trying to convince myself to flip-flop this pick.
That's the thing is, like, because I've sat and looked at I looked at this the entire time, this entire segment. I looked at it for like 10 minutes earlier. I can't pick Wisconsin. At least against the spread, I can't pick Wisconsin. Wisconsin's 6-4 against the spread. Nebraska's 5-4. Like, I can't pick them. I can't pick against Nebraska. I can't pick Wisconsin.
You know what? I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna take Wisconsin.
Fair.
I'm gonna fucking do it. We need something to be different here. Been very equal on a lot of these picks. And I'm only one game behind, so it's either going to tank me even further behind, or could be the difference. I'm going to take Wisconsin. My brain is like, yes, Nebraska's like in these games, but at the same time, Wisconsin's offense has been really kicking better than it has been all season the last few weeks. Give me Wisconsin. And why not? The Who Cares special of the week on ESPNU, number 22, Louisiana, getting 4 on the road. They're 9-1 on the season, by the way, against the Liberty Flames. Liberty, -4, 7-3 on the year. I have a feeling I know what you're about to do. What do you say?
Give me Liberty or give me death. It's gonna tank me for the week, probably. Like,
well, not really, because I'm with you.
The thing is, like, Louisiana, yeah, they're 9-1 and they're ranked 22 in the these are AP rankings, by the way, 22 in the AP.
Yes.
Liberty just across the board's a better team.
Probably are. Fuck. Why are we doing this to ourselves again? We're gonna be back to death. We're getting death. Give me liberty. Fuck. And last game of the week, a 4 p.m. kickoff. So no late night Pac-12, no late night Mountain West this week. Big game out in California, sort of, in terms of the teams. Big brands. UCLA 6-4 on the season. They are -3 against USC 4-5 on the year. Like I said, big brands. It's the only reason this game's in here.
I have zero reason to pick USC. Like,
but you're gonna?
No. No. Give me UCLA. There's no reason to pick USC in this game.
It's not enough points. Like, you give me 3 and you even give me a half a point, I'd consider it. You're gonna give me 3. It's probably gonna fucking push, to be honest.
Right.
I don't know what to do here, so I'm just gonna take UCLA. USC is just kind of dead right now. I mean, interim head coach, shit's wild. I don't know. I have zero idea what to do, so I'm just gonna take the favorite in UCLA. Those are the college picks. Inform the people of the NFL record.
The NFL picks.
Even though I do not want to relive what's gone on to me this season. And
NFL
the last
picks.
2 weeks specifically.
I am 76-74. Jordan is 71-79.
Sure the fuck am.
Let's move on to the picks for the NFL.
Bad couple weeks in the NFL picks for me. The New England Patriots are on the road. They travel to Mercedes-Benz Stadium to take on the 4-5 Falcons. Falcons getting 6.5. And now we can bring the people. 74% of the people are on the Patriots, -6.5.
I can't take the Atlanta Falcons after what just happened to them.
Cannot.
Give me the Patriots.
It's not a whole lot of analysis needed here. Falcons just scored 3 points against Dallas.
The New England Patriots just scored 45 against the Cleveland Browns.
Just got toasted. I cannot pick the Falcons. Those 26% of the people who did, I don't know what you're seeing. I can't do it. That's Thursday Night Football. We move on. The Ravens kick off the 1 o'clock slate in the NFL. They're on the road, traveling to Soldier Field to take on the Chicago Bears, who've been tanking the last few weeks. Bears also +6.5 home. Woof woofs. Who do you got?
I want to take the Bears here, but I can't. I want to take Justin Fields and the Bears, but Justin Fields the last few weeks has been kind of that lone bright spot for the Bears. That game against Pittsburgh, he was the lone bright spot, really. That Bears defense is bad. I don't see Baltimore following up their game against Miami with another dud of a game against Chicago. Give me Baltimore.
They lose to the Bears. We got big problems in Baltimore, Maryland. I will take the Ravens as well. Bears have not shown me anything outside of Justin Fields. They can win games. So oh boy. Are you ready?
Am I?
Ready for?
No.
Are you ready for a good time?
Is this going to be a good time, though?
I would sing it in the AC/DC Brian Johnson voice, but I can't do it. The Detroit Football Lions. 8-1 on the year. They take on another team that is so completely inept in their franchise's entire history, in the Cleveland Browns. From First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Lions getting 9.5 against the Brownies.
Apparently,
This game might hurt to watch. The people are very split. 51% of the people on the Browns, 49% on the Lions. I don't know if the man of the people thing works here for this pick.
It does not.
Go ahead. Go ahead, make your pick. I mean, the people are on the Browns barely, but they're on them.
after what I saw Detroit do, and just their undesired, of course, they did cover.
I mean, I believe it was the same spread a week ago.
Yeah, they did cover last week.
I believe it was 9.5 against the Steelers.
And Jared Goff is listed as questionable with an oblique injury. That would probably honestly help the Detroit Lions.
He is. Tim Boyle has been taking reps in practice. I still think Goff plays. That probably isn't something I want.
But I don't think the Browns are going to follow up with a performance against a bad team after what they did against the New England Patriots. I think the Browns are going to win by more than 9.5. Give me the Browns.
Really? All right. I've been on the wrong side of the Lions seemingly all year long. I pick them to cover, they don't cover. I pick their opponent to cover, the Lions fucking cover. I don't know what to do with them anymore. I'm just going to take the Lions forward down the field. If Cleveland looks anywhere near as bad as they did a week ago against the Patriots, this could be the Lions' first win in the year. Who knows? But 9.5's a lot in the NFL. I'm going to take Detroit. Why not? See what happens. NFC North versus NFC North. The Green Bay Packers are on the road traveling to US Bank Stadium to take on the Vikings. Tiny fucking spread. Vikings plus 2.5. 75% of the people are on the Packers.
Unless Aaron Rodgers somehow manages to severely hurt himself and is not able to play.
Or get COVID again.
Or he gets COVID again all of a sudden. Give me the Packers.
Not a lot to dive into here. Packers are the easy choice. Minnesota's win last week probably lowers this spread a little bit. But I'm still taking Green Bay.
Yeah.
Lost Aaron Jones really ain't gonna hurt him all that bad because they don't use him anyway. Wow. The inept Houston Texans are on the road playing the Tennessee Titans, who seem like a buzzsaw in the NFL lately. 8-2 on the year after a rough start. Titans minus 10.5. The people don't make any sense because apparently 76% of the people are on the Titans and 25% are on the Texans. That equals 101%. Which doesn't make any sense.
The math,
who do you got?
The math does not check out there. Houston, we have problems.
They've had problems.
Give me Tennessee.
It's not even a fucking doubt. Tennessee has shown no life.
Hammer Tennessee
whatsoever. I mean, hammer Tennessee spread.
Yeah, well, yeah. Tennessee money line's
right.
Probably absurd.
Current odds, however, is Tennessee minus 10, which is such a fucking weird number. I hate doing that when it's like a totally believable score. I don't know what to do. I'm taking Tennessee, don't get me wrong, but betting wise, I don't know if I'm gonna touch it.
Probably not. We'll talk about that on Backdoor Cover though.
I'm sure we will.
Maybe.
Nah, we will. I mean, we talk about every NFL game on Backdoor Cover. Backdoor Cover Fridays, right on this Twitch channel. Little plug there.
Yes.
The 5-5 Indianapolis Colts on the road to take on the Buffalo Bills. People are split on this minus 7.5 spread for the Buffalo Bills. Who do you got?
I don't think Indy gets it done. I don't think they win. Buffalo has been an odd team. They've played bad they play bad at points, they play good at points. So, give me the Colts to cover. I don't necessarily know if they're going to win, though.
Way too big of a spread for a Colts team that is talented. Buffalo has made no sense at times. I mean, the Jacksonville loss, like, what the fuck is that?
What the fuck happened there? Holy shit.
I don't know. You just give me the Colts. You're going to give me a touchdown, and I can still fucking cover. Give me the Colts. Easy pick. Shit Bowl. That's the way to describe this next one. The now 3-7 Miami Dolphins. I cannot believe they have won 3 games. They head to MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, to take on the somehow unironically New York Jets. Jets. New York, but playing in New Jersey. Cool stuff. Vegas doesn't know what to do here. Jets are plus 2.5. 71% of the people are on the Dolphins after their win against the Ravens. If it wasn't for that win, I don't know what this spread would be. Probably be a pick 'em, to be honest, because nobody has any clue.
Joe Flacco is starting for the Jets. So, if you have $32
oh no,
and
here it is.
nothing to do on Sunday at 1 o'clock in East Rutherford, New Jersey, or just the New York area, go somewhere else instead of watching Joe Flacco? Unless you're a Miami Dolphins fan, because I honestly don't know if the New York Jets have fans. Give me the Dolphins.
Is Joe Flacco elite?
Joe Flacco is not elite. After what Miami did against Baltimore, it might be a fluke, I don't know, but give me the Dolphins.
It's probably a fluke, but this spread is not high enough for me to take the Jets. I have zero idea what's going to happen in this game. I'm just taking the safe pick with the Dolphins. They just did what they did to Baltimore. Gotta take Miami. Hopefully they fucking bring out the retro jerseys soon, because I am so sick of seeing highlights of Miami in the awful current jerseys they have. Awful. We move on. The New Orleans Saints. God, the people are split this week. Holy shit. This is the third game we've seen where the people are split. 51% of the people are on the New Orleans Saints, plus 1.5 at the Philadelphia Eagles.
I am
minus 1.5 for the Eagles.
I am one of those 51% going with the New Orleans Saints. That Saints defense is really good. Quarterback wise, and not knowing if Alvin Kamara is playing, it's hard to say. Taysom Hill, who the hell knows? No idea what's going on with quarterback. But one thing that we do know about, that Saints defense is good.
That we do.
So give me the Saints. I don't know if Jalen Hurts is able to do anything here against the Saints.
Eagles score a lot of points. Saints, I don't know what to fucking do with them. I'm taking the Eagles. I don't know what to do.
The Eagles only score one more point than the Saints.
I know, but
I wouldn't call it a lot.
But that, you look at that, and that's with Kamara, and that's with Jameis Winston. Now we got Trevor Siemian. I don't know what to do. I'm on the Eagles. The San Francisco 49ers, 4-5 on the year. Great start to the season. Kind of lackluster since up until the win at home against the Rams. They are on the road, and they play the Jacksonville Jaguars. 2-7 on the year. Jags getting 6.5.
San Francisco has to be better than Jacksonville, right?
You would think.
Give me San Francisco. I
don't see this as one of those weeks where the Jags show up to play. Do not see it. So I will take the Niners. Football team. They are on the road. They take on the Carolina Panthers. Cam Newton starting in this game. Panthers -3.5. A very nice percentage of the people are on the Panthers. 69%. Who do you got?
Washington doesn't have Chase Young, so give me Carolina.
I'm on Carolina as well. Cam Newton starting. He's better than PJ Walker, that's for damn sure. I'll take the Panthers. That's all I got on that. Bengals off a bye, 5-4 on the year. They are in a pick'em with the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams 5-4. In fact, 58% of the people are on the Bengals here.
I think the only reason this is a pick'em is because the last action we saw of the Bengals, the last 2 weeks of action we saw of the Bengals, yes, they had the bye last week. 3 weeks ago, they looked putrid against the Jets. Lost to the Jets. 2 weeks ago, they looked extremely putrid against the Browns. So I think that's the only reason this game's a pick'em. The Las Vegas Raiders looked extremely putrid against the Chiefs. They looked very Las Vegas Raiders-esque. So
Scissors and all.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't pick the Bengals very often.
Here's the exception.
Yeah. Give me the Bengals here. Like, not enough here for me. I haven't seen enough good out of the Raiders for me to pick the Raiders. They lost to the I mean, granted, the Bengals lost to the Bears too, but they lost to the Bears.
I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm going safe here. Give me the Bengals. It is what it is.
It's the safe pick, and yeah.
We are into the 4:00 slate now. With that Bengals and Raiders game. Cardinals are at the Seahawks. Cardinals are a banged up mess, and the Seahawks are getting 2.5.
Oh boy.
What do you do? What do you do?
I'm taking the Seahawks here just because who's going to start at quarterback for Arizona? Every quarterback, both of their quarterbacks are dinged up. Like, what did we get? Yeah, I don't want to take Seattle because don't know what we're going to get out of Seattle. They've been struggling. But Arizona beat up the past couple of weeks. Give me Seattle. Arizona in desperate need of a bye. They get it next week.
I don't know what to do. I have zero clue. I'm just going to take the Cardinals.
Fair.
With how Russ looked against Green Bay, I have to. Last game of the 4:00 slate. The Dallas Cowboys are on the road. They travel to Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs -2.5. And once again, the people are split. 51% of the people on the Chiefs, 49% on the Cowboys. What side do you lie on?
Give me the Chiefs.
I don't know what to do.
I honestly don't know if the Dallas defense is going to be able to stop. If the Chiefs actually show up and play Kansas City Chiefs football, I don't know if Dallas is going to be able to stop them. It's a home game for Kansas City. That's going to be a big factor. Arrowhead's a tough place to play.
Taking quote-unquote America's team. Taking the Cowboys. The Chiefs looked like the Chiefs last week for the first time in a long time. Dallas demolished Atlanta. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna take the Cowboys. See what happens.
Fair.
See what the fuck happens. Sunday Night Football. Steelers are on the road. They take on the LA Chargers. That's a Steelers home game, essentially.
Because the Chargers have no fans in LA.
Chargers have no fans, but the Chargers are -4.5. Nobody, essentially, on the Steelers here. 70% of the people are on LA.
After what I saw from the Steelers, I'm not on the Steelers either. Because of Najee Harris, I'm usually on the Steelers, but Mike Tomlin does not really like to use Najee Harris. We don't know if Ben Roethlisberger is going to be taken off the COVID list or not. Hard to say. So give me the Chargers.
I want to take the Steelers, I really do, but I can't. I really fucking can't. Like, I this whole NFL slate is like, I don't know what to do. Like, that's essentially where I'm at. Just give me the Chargers. They need it. They need a good performance here. I think they get it against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Monday Night Football. Oh boy. Tom Brady. He's at home. Bucks 6-3 against Tom Brady's nemesis, the New York Football Giants, at 3-6 on the season. Bucks minus 10.5. And for the final time this week, the people. 59% are on the Bucks. 41% are on the Giants. At least the math adds up. What do you got for Monday Night Manning, hopefully?
The only way this game's close is if Eli Manning unretires just for this game.
Right. Eli Manning has been Tom Brady's biggest nemesis, not necessarily the Giants.
Saquon Barkley's questionable.
As seemingly every week.
Yeah. With, I believe, an ankle injury this time. Tom Brady had a bad game against Washington. He's not going to have a bad game against New York. Give me Tampa Bay. We are not going to see the Succaneers this weekend.
Fighting Tom Brady's where I'm at.
And
it is what it is, and those are the picks.
Yes, they are. It is time to work on wrapping the show up. So it is time for Champ and Chump of the Week.
Go ahead.
I'm
waiting to hear this.
So my champ. We talked about it at the top of the show. Well, not quite the top. The second to top of the show. My champ is the United States men's national team.
Oh.
That had to be obvious.
Okay. I was expecting a different thing, but very, very fair champ of the week.
What were you expecting?
I will get to it shortly.
Oh, okay. So go ahead with your champ.
I was expecting some sort of breakdown as to why, but I guess
we
had already covered
we've already talked about it a lot. My champ of the week is the United States men's national soccer team because, well, they've beaten Mexico 3 times this year. They've played them 3 times. They've beat them 3 times. Their second World Cup qualifying, they look immensely better this year in this World Cup qualifying cycle, and, well, everything going on than they did a few years ago. Yes, Greg Berhalter might not be the answer. They got the draw against Jamaica and kind of a weird, sloppy, ugly game all around from both teams. That ended in a 1-1 draw. Greg Berhalter may not be the 100% answer, but right now this team at least looks like they give a fuck, which they didn't under Bruce Arena.
Nope. Sure did. Champ of the week for me. Something we also talked about at the top of the show, sort of in the news. Lewis Hamilton.
Fair. That's what you were expecting me to say.
Yep. What he did through everything that got thrown at him this weekend in Brazil to still come away with the win. Already took the 5-place grid penalty with the engine change. Gets DQ'd from qualifying because of DRS nonsense. And then goes out in the Saturday sprint, finishes 5th, means he starts 10th with the grid penalty. And then goes out and wins the whole goddamn thing. I mean, Lewis Hamilton's phenomenal. Jump of the week, go.
Well, I have a two-way chump of the week. This is the third time in a row I've had a multi-chump of the week.
Uh-oh.
My first one was John Gruden. Like,
fair.
Just take your loss. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's it, John. Just stop.
Just stop being a piece of shit. It's not hard to be a solid person. Really not.
Just fucking stop. Like, I don't know how else to say it about John Gruden. He's been like, just fucking stop. That's part of my chump of the week. My other one. Chelsea Football Club manager Thomas Tuchel. Why, you ask? Well, for his comments and the build-up to the United States-Mexico game on Friday, Christian Pulisic plays for Chelsea Football Club. Pulisic, Tuchel thought was healthy enough to play for Chelsea last Saturday, the 6th, or Saturday the 6th, or Sunday the 7th, whatever day it was, for about 15 minutes. He played on Friday night about 20-ish minutes against Mexico, but he said, be careful with him. I don't think it's a good idea to play him. More or less insinuating, don't play him. First off,
yeah,
I 100% believe that this is an opinion from a man who he sees this guy playing for the U.S. men's national team. He's like, oh, it's just U.S. soccer. Fuck it. If this was anybody else, if this was any other player playing for any other national team, I don't think he comes out and says this, because he knows for a fact Greg Berhalter is not going to go out and say anything to him. Jurgen Klopp for United or for Liverpool isn't going to say this. Pep Guardiola isn't going to say this. No other major club manager is going to say this. Thomas Tuchel is saying he wouldn't say this about Eden Hazard. Who is he on the team still?
For Chelsea?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Okay, I couldn't.
Been in Madrid for years.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, he wouldn't say this about Lukaku.
He is currently on the team. He would not.
He wouldn't say this about N'Golo Kante. If any of the scenarios were the same, he wouldn't say it about Lukaku and N'Golo Kante, Thiago Silva.
N'Golo Kante is probably a better player because that dude's
insane. Yeah. I'm looking through some of the rest of their roster. Mason Mount, who does sometimes see playing time for the English national team, he wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say that. He wouldn't say about Azpilicueta.
I love Cesar.
Like, I could go anybody on this Chelsea roster. He wouldn't say it about any of them other than Christian Pulisic. He's saying it because he's a United States player. Like, this is just a terrible fucking take. Like,
I would assume so.
Like, I hate everything about this. You're not saying, like, Solskjaer for United, I have a lot of negative opinions about him. He wouldn't say this about Bruno Fernandes or Ronaldo for Madrid. Or for Portugal, I mean. He wouldn't.
So
I'm going to take the Pat McAfee quote of, shut the fuck up, we have games to win.
Yes. So,
that's
obviously, I am a Chelsea fan.
Yep.
Thomas Tuchel is Chelsea's manager.
Yes.
I am not a fan of it. I am not a fan of that comment. I don't understand why he decided to do that whatsoever, because he doesn't use Pucelik for anything.
No, you spent $73 million on him.
Well, I mean, Pucelik came over under Frank Lampard, but yes, I don't like it. Like, what makes your club football so much more important than national team football?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it's the U.S.
Would be my assumption.
Like, this is
I don't know.
Country comes over club, club comes over league.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's it. Terrible fucking take.
Let's go.
If it wasn't for the John Gruden stuff, Thomas Tuchel would have been lone chump of the week. But John Gruden's John Gruden.
John Gruden is John Gruden. My chump of the week, and we've already been over this, is James Frank.
Fair.
What a miserable effort as a head coach. Like, you had that game won against Michigan. And James Franklin. Like, okay, well, yes, he's not on the field on the Eric All touchdown. Great. Whatever. But he's making the call on that last play of the game, which we've been over. We've been over it. So, I'm happy that you suck, James Franklin. Very happy. Michigan's 9-1 because you suck. But, hey, at the same time, a win is a win is a win is a win.
Yeah.
One for the road?
Yep, it's time for one for the road.
What do you got?
Oh, boy. Just because I think this one will be fun. On Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, the Qatar Grand Prix F1. Just because I think this will be fun.
It'll be fun. I don't like the race. I don't like the race being there, but it'll be fun.
I do not like the race being there at all. I hate it. But
I mean, you got Qatar, you got Saudi Arabia or Abu Dhabi or whatever.
Yeah. Don't
F1,
like either of them being there.
F1, you say that this shit's for everybody, whatever. Well, maybe you shouldn't hold races in places where it isn't for everybody.
I don't like it being there, but I think the race is going to be fun. There isn't, I mean, I don't want to go Ohio State, Michigan, or Ohio State, Michigan State. Like, college ball, that's the only real game on.
That's the big one, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't, like, yeah.
All right. Anything else to add?
No. All
right.
Go ahead.
My one for the road. We are back to wrestling one for the road. WWE Survivor Series is this weekend. Now, the build-up for it has been absolute dog shit. They announced the Survivor Series teams on Twitter and then proceeded to change them through nonsense on Raw and on SmackDown for no reason other than why the fuck not. But that being said, forget the traditional Survivor Series matches, the 5-on-5s. Forget those. We have Roman Reigns versus Big E. Big time stuff. Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair that promises to be wild because those two legitimately hate each other. Damian Priest versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which is something I never thought we'd see. And there's another one. Has to be another one. Who are the fucking tag team names? RK Bro versus the Usos. Gonna be good stuff. All sorts of good stuff. The build-up sucks. The matches will rock, as always. You get the best in WWE, taking on the best of the best on the other brands. So, let's go. Survivor Series, 8 p.m. Sunday. Sunday Night Football. What's Sunday Night Football again?
Chargers, Steelers.
Yeah. Watch Survivor Series if you have Peacock instead. Or if you don't live in America, on the WWE network.
Alrighty.
One for the road.
Okay. Alrighty. That's the show. As I said, we're 3 months in to this season. I don't have much to say. I've said everything that I could. Thanks to everybody for making this 3 months fun. Everybody who listens to this, watches this on Twitch, watches it on YouTube, thanks for making it fun. Jordan, anything to say?
Fuck John Gruden.
Yep.
Hail to the field goals.
Fuck Dan Snyder.
Well, Gruden replaced Dan Snyder for the week.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Fuck Gruden. And go blue and hashtag sign Carlos Correa.
Okay, so with that being said, Friday, backdoor cover. We get to talk about some sports gambling.
Hey,
look forward to
let's
it.
Go.
Other than that, though, thank you.
Got some wild stuff for backdoor cover, I'm sure.
Probably
weird spreads this week. A lot of ones that a lot of people are kind of split on. So
most likely. So with that being said, thank you for making us part of your Wednesday evening. However you may be listening or watching, wherever you may be listening or watching from. We will see you all next time. Peace out. Stay classy. See ya.